Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is story about what if Naruto trains alone after wave part 1. Before I start, please do support for more amazing content and comments for part 2. Do consider to subscribe my channel and share my video to your friends and check out the description as well. Let's start the video. Sasuke, I'm at point B. Sakura, I'm at point C. Naruto, I'm at point A. Believe it, too slow Naruto. Okay, Squad 7. A black beast leapt from a tree into the bushes below, using the surrounding forest greenery as an effective shield. The target has moved. Follow it. 3 ninja can be seen from their hiding places. One with raven black hair, another with bubblegum pink, and the last with knucklehead blonde, over there. The blonde whispered through his earpiece, "What's your distance from the target?" Came the silver-haired Jonin's voice. 5 meters. Naruto replied, "I'm ready, just give the signal." "I'm ready too," voiced the confident Sasuke. "So am I," Sakura finished. "Okay now," Kakashi ordered. The 3 genins sprung from their hiding places at the beast. I got him! I got him!" Naruto shouted out as he wrestled with the cat. This only startled the poor creature as Naruto became its new scratching post, with Sakura smiling all the while. "Can you verify ribbon on right ear?" Kakashi's voice echoed from the 3 sets of headphones. "Affirmative, we got a positive ID," Sasuke replied, having almost nothing to do with the capture. "Right. Lost pet Tora captured. Mission accomplished. Can't we get a better mission than this? I hate cats." Naruto yelled down the frequency, as his fellow ninja grabbed their heads in pain. "Naruto! We can all hear you loud and clear, stop yelling." Sakura's shrill voice now bellowed back down the earpieces. Pathetic. A now bored Sasuke sighed and began the short journey back into the village through the trees. "Sasuke! Wait up!" Sakura called out and hurried after him. "Hey! A little help first, Sakura? Get off me, cat!" Naruto shouted, having enough of the feline, grabbing it by the scruff of its neck as it finally calmed down. Quickly rising to his feet to get a better grip on the animal, Naruto rose with the captured kitty in hands. With a flash, smoke erupted a few feet from Naruto. He almost dropped the cat. "Almost. It seems you have a way with pets, eh? Naruto?" Kakashi gloated as he emerged from the smoke with one of his famous eye smiles. "Damn it, Kakashi-sensei, why can't we have a better mission than this? A B rank, or a C rank at least. Now Naruto, there is no use complaining to me again. We get our orders and missions from the Hokage and we must complete them for the good of the village." The pair had now begun walking back toward the village. "Yeah, but I'm way stronger now. I even caught this damn cat before Sasuke got near it." Naruto stroked the cat's fur lightly without loosening his grip on the animal. "Speed doesn't determine the power of a ninja, Naruto. You should know this by now. All aspects must be taken into account. Any Chunin could beat you without a second thought." Now that hurt Naruto's pride. Mizuki sure had fun losing to me," he whispered to himself. Kakashi caught that but decided to say nothing as the two made their way to the Hokage's office in silence. "Oh, my poor little Tora. Mama was so worried about your naughty little fuzzy face. Team 7's captive was in the process of becoming a pancake against its owner's face. Haha. Stupid cat, that kitty deserves to be squashed." Naruto laughed as he watched the client suffocating it. No wonder he ran away. Sakura pitied the cat, but her job was over anyway. Sit back and let Naruto and Sasuke handle it. That's easy street for her. Now then, for Squad 7's next mission we have several available tasks. The third Hokage called to Squad 7 over the screams of the poor cat. Among them, babysitting the chief counselor's 3-year-old, helping his wife to do the shopping, digging up potatoes at. "No!" Naruto interrupted, crossing his arms like an X with a strange buzzing sound heard from somewhere. "I want to go on a real mission. Something challenging and exciting. Not this little kid stuff." "Come on, old man, he's got a point." Sasuke considered as he agreed with the dead last for once. "He's such a pain." Sakura sighed internally. "Oh, I knew this was coming." Kakashi thought as Iruka suddenly took charge. "How dare you! You're just a brand new genin with no experience. Like everyone else, you start with simple missions to develop your skills and prove yourself. Are you serious? Babysitting is not a mission, it's just a stupid ga." As a punch to the back of his head shut him up, courtesy of Kakashi. "Will you put a lid on it?" His now bored voice sensei spoke. "Naruto," the third began as Naruto sat up and rubbed the back of his head. "It seems you do not understand the tasks you have been given. Listen, many different kinds of requests come into our village every day. From babysitting to assassinations. These requests are carefully reported. You always lecture me like you're my grandfather or something, but I'm not the little brat that used to pull pranks all the time. I'm a ninja now and I want a ninja mission." Naruto shouted and turned his back to the Hokage. I'm gonna hear about this later." Kakashi sighed again. The Hokage chuckled. "Naruto wants us to know he's not a brat, he's a former brat, and he wants a mission." "So be it." "Huh," was all Naruto could say. "Since you are so determined, I'm going to give you a C-ranked mission. You'll be bodyguards on a journey." "Really?" "Yes." Who? Are we guarding a princess? Or some big counselor? Don't be so impatient. I will bring him in now." The Hokage scolded, "Send in our visitor." Squad 7 turned towards the door as it opened, revealing a very drunk old man with a bottle of sake in his hand. "What the? A bunch of little snot-nosed kids?" The old man took one final swig and hit the ground. "Why? What the hell? Who's this old geezer?" Naruto shouted out, now poking the body. "It seems our client has had a little too much to drink. Kakashi, if you would escort our client back to his hotel, Team 7 can begin in the morning." The third sighed. "Huh? No fair, old man. You said we'd get a C rank today." Naruto, now furious he was denied his prize he fought for. "Your mission will still be here in the morning, Naruto. You can't complete it without the client after all. I suggest you all go home and rest for tomorrow." With that, the Hokage rose from his seat and left the Chunin remaining to sort through the remaining missions. The third's head suddenly appeared back at the doorway. "If you'd like, Naruto, I could set up some D ranks for you instead." He chuckled as he heard Naruto go off like a bomb, returning to his office for some private reading. "Geez, Naruto, did you have to make such a fuss?" Sakura scolded him. "It got us a better mission, didn't it? Or would you like to be carrying groceries for other people your whole life?" Naruto snapped right back. Naruto's face hit the floor again as Sakura stood proudly over him. "You're such an idiot!" she shouted at him as ran back to Sasuke's side. Kakashi had already gone ahead and taken the client, now identified as Tazuna, home. So it was just a genin, and they each had their own plans. "Leave me alone, Sakura. I'm going to go train," Sasuke grumbled, and with Sakura right on his tail much to his dismay, he headed back to Squad 7's training grounds. "Ow, why does Sakura have to hit me all the time?" Naruto stood up and sighed, his voice-enhancing mask now gone with no one around. "Why can't she just," he trailed off, with a slight tear peeking from his eye. All of a sudden, he became completely motionless. Nature chakra licked at his body, but he was blissfully unaware. His body then set itself to automatic and began home with an expressionless look on his face. "Huh! Where the hell am I? He shouted as his voice echoed in the dark sewer around him. "Gah! What is this stuff?" Lifting one foot out of the water and examining it closely, the slime then slowly dribbled off his sandal and back into the muck before Naruto decided he didn't want to know. "Wise choice." A voice roared from somewhere in the sewer. Naruto jumped at this and surprisingly didn't appear afraid. Like a dog barking at the night, he shouted. "Who the hell is that? Come closer to discover more." The voice called out again, with Naruto slowly taking steps down the corridor, towards what he guessed was the source of the voice. "That's it, closer and closer," he heard again. Picking up the pace, Naruto headed into the unknown until he saw only darkness no more. "So this is my vessel." The voice called out from behind giant metal bars held back by nothing but a slip of paper with the kanji for CO written on it. "So, we finally meet face to face, eh?" "Kyuubi." Naruto smiled a somewhat evil smirk. This, of course, only made the fox prouder, with giant, shining, scythe-like teeth arranged in a similar smirk. "What big teeth you have, Kyuubi." Naruto grinned. "All the better to devour your flesh with." It roared back, its face now in the light close to the bars, revealing the ragged orange fur tarnished in places with the same goop that appeared on the floor. "Why did you bring me here?" Naruto asked. All evidence of grinning left his face, now donning a look more serious. "What's with the business all of a sudden?" "I was having fun." Kyuubi smirked back with the same grin Naruto just lost. "I know all about you now. You've killed thousands of people, millions maybe." Naruto began, with the Kyuubi only nodding with a kind of more or less look. "I also know that if I die, you die. What's to stop me finally ridding the world from your evil?" "Humph, kid's smarter than I gave him credit for," the fox thought. "Well? You're the reason I'm hated in this town. You're the only reason I'm still here. And you seething with rage," Naruto shouted as loud as he could, "you took away my family." Now with tears in his eyes, he looked at the fox again with all the hatred he had saved up over the years. "No one will ever love me. You took away my chance at having a happy life." A metal bar suddenly appeared in Naruto's hands. Tears, now very much threatening to break loose, shook violently as he swung the bar repeatedly at Kyuubi's cage. Every time he landed a hit, he repeated the same word louder each time. "Why?" Collapsing due to fatigue and emotion, Naruto sunk to his knees and dropped the bar, both hidden by the murky liquid below. "Why did you have to come to Konoha? Why did you have to take away all those lives?" he said, now deathly quiet in contrast to his previous outbursts. The old fox looked at Naruto and for the second time in its long lifespan, shed a tear. It didn't growl or hurl obscenities at the boy. It just lay there, head draped across its paws like a scolded dog, feeling sorry for the one person he should hate. After a long, pregnant pause, "I didn't mean to," the fox spoke. Naruto raised his tear-stained face to meet the Kyuubi's closed eyes. "Life is a fragile thing, is it not?" It spoke again. Naruto only nodded his head slowly. The great Kyuubi let out a long sigh before opening his eyes again. "I have lived many of your human lifetimes, yet I still have not found a place to call home." Kyuubi was getting more vocal now as Naruto patiently listened. "There are no other Kyuubi, just me alone for hundreds of years. I know the pain of loneliness better than even you, kid. I am the only Kyuubi. There are no others. I do not know why I am here or what to do in life with no one else out there for me." Naruto actually felt sorry for the Kyuubi. True had only faced 12.5 years of hate, and suffering, but the Kyuubi had endured hundreds. I thought you appear when people get too cocky and evil. Isn't that what you do in life? Naruto asked, as was the legend of the Kyuubi. No. No, my dear kid. This world is a delicate balance. I merely help it by reducing the amount of evil. Kyuubi sighed, remembering all the dictators and loyal subjects to them he had slaughtered. Really? No tricks? Naruto asked, now very curious. Fox's honor. The Kyuubi chuckled as he sat up again. Unlike me, kid, you can be seen as a force of good in the world. You can know, love, and honor yourself and become ninja you truly want to be. Naruto scoffed. TSH, like that'll ever happen now. I have you to keep in line. How anyone could love me. This world is full of surprises, kid. Some are good, some are bad. You never know until you look for them, though. The fox then pressed its paw against the cage door and took a deep breath. What do you fight for, kid? It suddenly asked. Huh. Well, I guess I fight to be acknowledged, so I can protect people like Irika-sensei and Sakura. Good answer. The fox thought and chuckled. Very well, how about a deal then? He grinned again. A normal person would have already denied the fox and taken off running. What kind of deal? Naruto asked suspiciously. I want to see the world again. I want to see the sights you do. It began. I will give you full access to the power I have here and teach you things Jonin could only dream of. In return, all I ask is a mental link between our minds. I do not want to be shut off from the world anymore. Naruto seemed rather confused with this. So let me get this straight. You're willing to give me lots of power in return for a window into my life? That is all I ask, and that you change your clothes. The Kyuubi smiled. Not the foxy grin similarly always plastered on Naruto's face, but a warm smile. Hey, it's not like I haven't tried. You asked for it though. You can see for yourself. Naruto replied to the fox, and pressed his own tiny hand against a bar on the cage, opposite of the Kyuubi's own. A white light linked the center of Naruto's head and Kyuubi's head before engulfing the room. The sound of birds chirping drifted through the window, letting people know that morning had arrived. Despite having a mission that day, a certain blonde just rolled over, using his sheets to block the sun. Wait for it, the voice in Naruto's head mumbled behind grins as Naruto's brain finally returned to the land of the living a second before. Gah! He shot up in his bed, scrambled to get out. I can't believe I overslept. Why am I still in my clothes? You were so worn out from our little chat you didn't wake up. Came the Kyuubi's now ever-present voice. Ah, you! So it wasn't all a dream, we really did make that deal, huh? Naruto thought to the Kyuubi. Yes, and don't forget about your end. I give you access to my power and knowledge in return for this link, and that you wear something other than that ghastly orange. Oh yeah, hee. Unfortunately for you, you get to see my wardrobe now. What do you mean? The fox replied, quite confused. How could your wardrobe be any worse than what you're wearing? Naruto hurried to his closet, a look of absolute joy on his face as he flung open the door to the tiny space and opened his eyes as wide as he could to give the fox the full picture. Gah! My eyes! The fox reared back into the darkness of his cage. Naruto howled with laughter, rolling around on the floor. Inside Naruto's closet was 10 different sets of the same jumpsuit Naruto wore every day. Man, fox, I wish I could see your face, haha. Priceless. Oh? You think so, kid? The fox, now furious, stepped forward and put its paw against the cage. Time for your first lesson. Naruto had just zipped up his next jumpsuit when a massive wave of pain slammed into him. He clutched his head as the pain focused around his face. He yelled out and jumped back onto his bed, burying his head under his pillow. The pain left as fast as it came as Naruto opened his eyes again. Picking himself up, he thought something nasty to the fox. No need for that sort of language, kid. You should be thanking me on bended knee. The fox smirked, now relaxing back in the corner of his cage. Why? You turned my head into your personal plaything just for looking at the only thing I'm allowed to buy. Naruto yelled at the giant fox in his mind. Only thing? Why don't you just take something you want? They can't do anything with me around. TSH, you're right? You're the reason I get banned from nearly every store I walk into. Well, since you'll be leaving the village soon, you should find a shop that has some decent clothes for you. Plus, I didn't do anything to your head, just your senses. What about my senses? Naruto was now out of the door and hurrying to the front gate. I'll explain once I see something worth using them for. Kyuubi yawned and curled up in a ball before drifting off into a peaceful slumber. TSH, damn for ball. Naruto said as he focused on reality, spying Sasuke, Sakura and their client giving him an odd look. What an idiot, Sasuke just muttered as he returned to leaning back on the gate. Hey guys. Where's Kakashi? Naruto asked Sakura, giving her his famous foxy grin. Where do you think? Probably reading his stupid book on the other side of Konoha. Sakura answered. Man, Kakashi-sensei has never been on time. When we finally get a good mission, he decides to be late for that as well. You shouldn't talk that way about your teacher. Tazuna, one hand on his head in an attempt to stem the hangover he had, joined the conversation. But it's true. Kakashi-sensei is always late. He probably won't show up for another hour or two. Some leaves shifted unnaturally. Naruto's ears twitched. He turned his head to a tree just outside of the gate. Kakashi-sensei? That you? Naruto shouted out. The three spectators just resumed the weird look they gave him before. It was wiped from their faces as Kakashi just dropped from the tree, closing his orange book in the process. Well spotted, Naruto. The silver-haired Jonin complimented. You were there the whole time? Sakura yelled. No, I showed up around the same time Naruto did. I decided to test your ability, so since others. Naruto here is the only one who passed. Sakura and Sasuke were taken aback. This runt actually has some talent. Tazuna smiled. No way, how could he tell he was there from all the way over here? Sasuke fumed. That's impossible. There's no way he sensed him and Sasuke didn't. Sakura was shocked. You knew he was there the whole time though, didn't you, Sasuke? You just wanted me to sense him for myself. With hearts in her eyes, Sakura drifted off into her own fantasy world. Sasuke just scowled. Can we get on with the mission already? Now this was a surprise, Kakashi mused. Now Sasuke was the impatient one and Naruto was the calm one. The others decided to ignore this sudden outburst and make final checks over their stuff. Naruto took one step past the gates before smiling and looking up at the sky. My first step outside of the village, yeah. I can't wait. He thought. What? Naruto heard a low growl at the back of his mind. Up already, yeah? Furball. Seeing as you even think loudly, yes. Kyuubi grunted and stretched. Everyone ready? Came Kakashi's voice. Everyone nodded, then let's go. They all set out from the village. Kakashi began to explain the different regions while Naruto zoned out. Leaving already? I was hoping for a longer fox nap. Don't you mean cat nap? Naruto asked. Don't ever put me in the same category as them. A fox nap is completely different. Kyuubi shouted. Okay. If you say so. So are you gonna tell me what you did to my hearing? Couldn't you tell? You managed to find that Jonin teacher of yours easily when both of your teammates had no idea. You're making no sense. Just tell me everything you did, then I can get back to this mission. The fox just sighed. I'll put it simply for your human brain to understand. You can hear a pin drop at 100 feet. Your sense of smell is rivaled only by my own, and your eyes. The Kyuubi stopped suddenly. He spotted something out of place up ahead. Let's say we take them out for a test spin. What do you mean? Naruto asked. Push some chakra to your eyes and take a look under that tree. Do I have to mold it first? Naruto asked, remembering one of the few lessons he understood from the academy. Not for this. It's more like a switch you're turning on. The Kyuubi explained. Naruto complied and tried focusing his chakra into his eyes. Every time he took a step closer he lost focus and the chakra receded. Stop walking, idiot! The fox shouted, annoyed at his container's lack of focus or lack of control. Both were bad as each other at this point. Naruto stopped about 25 feet from the tree and focused hard. The chakra pulled at the back of his eyes. He blinked and his once crystal blue eyes became blood-red slitted ones. What the? Naruto looked at the puddle under the tree. There was a large source of chakra around and in the puddle. The others had walked ahead before turning back to the blonde. Naruto, hurry up! Sakura called out. In a second. Naruto walked up to the puddle and jumped into the center of it. In an instant, a smoke screen appeared around Naruto as two figures emerged from the haze, jumping back a few feet. One landed on his feet, the other on one knee, clutching his head. That hurt you, brat. The injured one shouted before the duo charged at him. Naruto jumped out of the way and landed several feet off. The two kept running. They were heading toward Kakashi and the client. Naruto ran after them, but he was too late. They both had a massive chain of shuriken emerge from their wrists, linking the two and wrapped it round Kakashi. One down. The other said, and they yanked the chain, splitting Kakashi in two. All three genin were too stunned to move. Their Jonin sensei had just been killed on the spot. Now for our objective. The injured one spoke before they made a charge for Tazuna. A flash of blue and Sasuke was in the air. He threw a shuriken at their chain, pinning it to a tree, followed up with a kunai to reinforce it. I can't get loose. The right-handed chain user grunted as Sasuke landed on each of their gauntlets. They quickly looked at the young genin before he kicked both of them in the jaw. With a clunk, they both released their gauntlets from the chain ends, regained their footing and flew towards Tazuna. I've got to stop them. I've got to stop them. Sakura shouted at herself, stay behind me. She cried and jumped in front of Tazuna. Now kid! A foot slammed into one of the figures, destroying his face mask under his foot as he shot into the other figure before tumbling away. Naruto landed in front of Sakura perfectly with a hard look on his face. And Naruto? Sakura whispered, more to herself than anyone else before Naruto ran over to where the demon brothers now lay. Both taken out with that last attack. Whoa, what the hell was that? Naruto thought. Your new reflexes kit. Like M? The fox grinned in his mind. A slight feeling of pride graced the fox's body before he brushed it away. You tuned them up too? Nice. Naruto smirked, inside and outside his mind. Good job, Naruto. A voice came from the trees as Kakashi dropped down for the second time that day. Kakashi-sensei, you're okay. Sakura shouted out and ran to meet him. Sasuke was too shocked by Naruto to move. Slowly, he turned his head to see the spot Kakashi died on to see tree stump slices scattered over the ground. Replacement Justu, he thought. Tazuna was still scared and cautiously approached the group. Is it safe now? He asked. Thanks to Sasuke and Naruto, yes. Kakashi replied, tying a very tight knot as he finished securing the demon brothers to a tree. By the way, Mr. Tazuna. Yeah? What? We need to talk. An hour later and the group was back on the road, the bridge build explaining his predicament, and the reason for his deception. With a team vote, the group decided to continue on. This fog's so thick. You can't see anything, Sakura called out. Team 7 and their client were now on the boat to the land of waves. The team had decided to continue with the mission much to Kakashi's dismay due to a convincing speech from Naruto. Naruto just sat at the front of the boat, getting used to his new nose. Sniffing every 100 feet or so, trying to smell land through the fog. Now you've got the hang of it, kid. Kyubi grinned as Naruto smelled damp earth a few 100 feet ahead. Yes, finally. So what's next, huh? Huh? Naruto asked eagerly. Nothing, kid, you have to master these abilities before I teach you anything else. Ah, come on. No! The Kyubi roared, do as I say or I will feast upon your flesh. To a normal person, this would require a change of underwear. You dare threaten me? Do you want me to sleep with my eyes open in my closet from now on? Naruto shouted right back with a hint of humor in his voice. No! The Kyubi shuddered at the memories. Then teach me something new. No, and with that, the Kyubi kicked Naruto out of his own mind. What the hell? He shouted as everyone gave him another confused stare. Naruto looked around, discovering he was the last on the boat except for the driver. Oh, sorry, hee. He put his hand behind his head and gave his foxy grin as he disembarked. Okay, take me to my home, and I mean get me there in one piece. Tazuna barked as the group set off. Kakashi was deep in thought as they traveled through the small coastal town and into the forest. How did that idiot get so good in so little time? Sasuke thought angrily. He could barely keep up with Dog Boy at the academy, and now he can match my speed. I'm not gonna lose to him. With that, the last Uchiha focused his senses on the surrounding area. If there was another ambush, he was going to discover it first. An awkward shift in the bushes. Over there! Sasuke hurled a kunai into the bushes. Everyone just gave him a confused look when no immediate results revealed themselves. Not a sound was heard from the bushes. No grunt of pain nor the thump of a body. Stop trying to scare me, you black-haired brat! Tazuna suddenly yelled out. Kakashi and Naruto's ears suddenly picked up another sound. There! Another kunai found its way into the bushes. Sakura just looked at Sasuke with stars in her eyes. Sasuke, you're so brave! She squealed. Kakashi made his way through the bushes to investigate, and found a panic-stricken white bunny. Sasuke saw what he hurled his kunai at, and just scowled. Stupid rodent. He muttered. Don't be so downhearted, Sasuke. Sakura made an attempt to hug him to console his embarrassment. Kakashi was deep in thought again while staring at the rabbit. Glancing at the trees, he thought, so you're already here. Look out! Came two separate calls. One from Kakashi and the other, surprisingly, from Naruto. Did he hear it too? Kakashi thought in record time as everyone hit the deck. A giant sword cleaved the air above their heads and embedded itself high in a nearby tree. It looked like an oversized butcher's knife with a semicircle on the blade edge missing and a full smaller circle towards the end of the blade in the middle. A figure landed on the handle of the sword, his gaze sweeping over the group. He wore matching brown and white cameo arm and leg warmers with lined blue pants. His face was masked with bandages, covering his mouth, and short black hair outlined his Kirigakure headband. Well. If it isn't Zabuza Momochi. Rogue ninja from the village hidden in the mist. Our Rouge ninja? Naruto muttered. Kakashi reached up to his headband. If he's our opponent, I'll need this. Kakashi of the Sharingan. Did I get that right? Zabuza's cold voice descended. It's too bad, but you'll have to hand over the old man. Kakashi and Zabuza locked eyes. Sharingan? What's that? Naruto thought. A powerful dojutsu. It was the last thing I saw before stop talking to me and focus on your enemy. Kyubi's voice boomed back in Naruto's mind. Got it. Naruto didn't bother to argue. This was serious if Kakashi was using his trump card, whatever it was. Now quick, get in formation. Protect the bridge builder, and stay out of this fight. Kakashi ordered. I taught you teamwork, now it's time to use it. Kakashi lifted his headband back to its proper place, revealing his scar and opening his eye. Showing a red and white eye with black pupil and 3 black tomos circling it. Well, it looks like I get to see the Sharingan in action. This is an honor, Zabuza spoke atop his perch. The Sharingan. A rare power. It resides in the eye, Sasuke began. Don't explain its mechanics to an enemy, Sasuke, you idiot. Naruto shouted across Kakashi. Without warning, a thick mist descended around the battlefield. I don't care what jutsu you have. I need to eliminate the old man. Zabuza began. As soon as he threatened Tazuna, Squad 7 formed up a defense around him. So, I'll have to eliminate you first, at Kakashi? With a flash, Zabuza and his sword were gone. Naruto channeled chakra to his eyes as they became red slits once more. Over there, on the water, he shouted out. Zabuza was just standing on the water, one hand above his head, focusing. Ninja art, hidden mist jutsu. He cried and disappeared in the further thickened mist. He'll come after me first. He's a master of the silent killing technique, Kakashi explained. As the name suggests, it happens in an instant without a sound or warning of any kind. It happens so fast you pass from this life without realizing what has happened. The Sharingan cannot fully neutralize it, so don't lower your guard. But if we fail, we only lose our lives. How can you say that? Sakura reprimanded him. The mist thickness increased further. The land of waves is surrounded by ocean. The swirling mists are ever present. Tazuna told them. The mist became so thick Kakashi faded from view when being not even 5 feet in front of them. Sensei! Sakura cried out. 8 points. Zabuza's voice surrounded them. Watch your back, kid! The QB warned. Naruto heard him but continued focusing chakra to his eyes. The more he pushed in, the clearer the mist became. Larynx, spine, lungs, liver, jugular, artery, kidneys, heart. Now, which will be my kill point? Everyone stiffened their stances. The mist suddenly cleared in a small area. Kakashi had flared his chakra to blow away some of the haze. Sasuke started sweating. Naruto noticed, and saw him raise his kunai around his stomach. What is he doing? He thought. Sasuke! Calm down. I'll protect you with my life, all of you. I will not allow my comrades to die. Trust me. Kakashi said, giving them one of his famous eye smiles. Sakura breathed a sigh of relief. I wouldn't be so sure. Came an eerie voice. Suddenly, Zabuza was between the genin and Tazuna. It's over! Zabuza calmly said before swinging his sword round. A fear-stricken Tazuna couldn't move. Don't move! Kakashi said, his Sharingan focusing directly on Zabuza and jumping towards him, kunai raised. Small drops of condensation dripped off Naruto's kunai as the Zabuza water clone gasped for air it could not keep before losing all chakra and becoming a small puddle on the ground. And Naruto? Kakashi was stunned to say the least. The other two had jumped away from the client at the first sign of danger to them. Naruto, however, swiftly took out the enemy in the second's warning he gave them. Sensei, behind you! Naruto shouted as another Zabuza emerged from the mist and swung his cleaver at Kakashi. Kakashi couldn't escape. He was already mid-jump at the now puddled Zabuza, who was no longer a threat. The mist ninja's sword cut him clean in half like a knife through water. With a small splash, where Kakashi was, there was now only water. The water clone jutsu. Zabuza thought, can't be, don't move. A voice behind Zabuza spoke coolly as a kunai was raised to his neck. Now it's over. You're finished. Smart move, Kakashi-sensei. Naruto said, not moving an inch since he'd sliced the water clone Zabuza's neck open. Sakura and Sasuke, who jumped back, were now staring in awe at the three. Zabuza began chuckling. Finished? You really don't get it, do you? Your technique is just a crass imitation. I'll never be defeated by a copycat ninja like you. Zabuza grinned under his mask. You are full of surprises, though. You copied my jutsu when you made your little speech. Nice try, but not that easy to fool. The Zabuza prisoner burst into water, as Kakashi's blade pieced its body, whilst yet another Zabuza behind Kakashi swung his sword with frightening speed at the Jonin's head. Kakashi quickly ducked as the sword dug into the ground. Zabuza reversed his grip and aimed a kick directly at Kakashi. It never landed as Naruto's leg intercepted Zabuza's, grinding his to a stop, giving Kakashi those vital seconds to retreat. What the dash? Zabuza started before a strong right hand introduced itself to Zabuza's face, sending him and his sword spiraling away. Zabuza turned the momentum into a flip and landed cat-like on his feet in a crouch. So you wanna play brat? He shouted, his pride hurt as he, one of the 7 swordsmen of the mist, took a sucker punch from a genin that actually hurt. Fine, see if you can keep up with this. Zabuza sped towards Naruto. Naruto could see the attack coming and made to block, but even his newly acquired reflexes couldn't keep up with the trained Jonin. The hilt of Zabuza's sword hit him square in the stomach. He doubled over in pain before being knocked into the air, courtesy of a sharp uppercut by the mist ninja. He landed on his back next to Sakura with a thud. Naruto! Are you okay? She asked him quickly, helping him sit up again. How do you like that, runt? Zabuza smirked. He turned back to Kakashi only to find him finishing hand seals. Lightning style, lightning hound jutsu. Kakashi called out as a dog composed completely of lightning charged Zabuza. Jumping back, Zabuza performed his own hand signs. Water style, great waterfall jutsu. Backing up to the water's edge, a huge amount of water shot itself at the hound, covering and short-circuiting the jutsu. The torrent didn't stop though. It shot through the clearing and straight towards the team and their client. Acting fast, Naruto grabbed Sakura and jumped into the trees while Kakashi took care of Tazuna. The water quickly let up as the group jumped back down. Heh, seems one of you little student didn't make it, Kakashi. Zabuza taunted as the group glared at him. Fire style, fireball jutsu. A voice shouted as a figure jumped out of the tree nearest Zabuza as a big ball of fire descended upon him, engulfing the swordsman. Sasuke smirked. The fire quickly cleared as he released the technique, panting a little. There was nothing left. No grass or rocks or body. Sasuke winced as he landed, looking around for the ninja. Too slow, kid. Water style, water dragon jutsu. Sasuke turned back to the river only for a large water dragon with yellow menacing eyes to crash into him, sending him skidding away back towards his team. Shadow clone jutsu. Naruto shouted out. 9 exact clones of Naruto appeared, complete with red slitted eyes, and charged at Zabuza. Naruto, wait! Kakashi shouted, but the Naruto continued, throwing kunai and shuriken between them at Zabuza. Pathetic. Zabuza mocked with a sigh as he used the blunt of his blade to block and weapons that came close. Damn it, we're gonna have to pull out the big guns. One Naruto yelled as the others just nodded their heads. 5 Naruto withdrew Fuma's shuriken from their backpacks before the remaining 4 charged Zabuza again. Each Naruto approached the bladed ninja from a different direction. They all made their attempts to beat down Zabuza and fell prey to his blade. The Naruto closest to the shore remained intact, however. Zabuza made his way to the boy when several black objects were hurled at him. Zabuza quickly turned to face the shuriken. He caught one in his left hand and jumped over the next one. The third clipped his right arm but not badly, while the fourth missed completely. Only 4? Zabuza quickly thought. He quickly scanned all the Naruto in front of him to see all 5 empty-handed but with massive grins on their faces. A light chuckle was heard as he turned his head mid-jump to see the Naruto from before releasing the final shuriken directly at him from 10 feet away. Thinking quickly, Zabuza hurled his caught shuriken at the new one, canceling them both out before back-flipping to land halfway between the single Naruto and the remaining 4. Wasn't there? Zabuza couldn't finish that thought as a small burst of smoke appeared at his feet as a small rock transformed into Naruto, bringing a rising uppercut to his face, sending him over the treetops. It's not over yet. Zabuza snarled through the branches as he crashed back through the foliage. Kakashi rose to meet the 7 swordsman member and swiftly elbowed him in the gut, sending him back down to earth, creating a small Zabuza-shaped crater and raising a small dust cloud. Kakashi landed next to the Naruto that sent Zabuza flying as the rest disappeared in a puff of smoke each. As the dust settled, it revealed a barely conscious Zabuza trying to struggle to his feet. You think you've won? Ha! It's not over until… Suddenly he fell silent and limp, collapsing back into the crater as 2 Saban planted themselves in his neck, his eyes still wide with shock. The Konoha group gasped as they saw the culprit of the throne Saban standing in a nearby tree. The figure just giggled. What's so funny? Sasuke shouted at the newcomer who had made him miss his chance to finish off the missing nin. All it took was 2 Saban and he's gone for good. Yet you decided to waste all that energy and chakra. The figure spoke. Thank you though. I have been tracking Zabuza for a long time, waiting for this chance to finally take him down. Kakashi cautiously walked over to Zabuza and measured his pulse. Nothing. By your mask, I see that you're a tracker ninja from the village hidden in the mist. Kakashi addressed the figure. Impressive, you're well informed. The tracker spoke again. From his size, voice and grace, he must be the same age as Naruto, yet he's an elite assassin. Kakashi thought as a soft wind blew across the clearing. He's not ordinary kid, but what is he? The tracker jumped down to Zabuza's side and checked him over. Now some more of the mist had cleared, the tracker could be seen more clearly. He was dressed in a strange green top with yellow trimming, a pair of dark orange pants and arm warmers with matching sash around the waist. His mask was bone white with 2 eyes slits with a flame pattern that looked like it was licking the bottom and the hidden mist village symbol carved into the forehead area. The tracker then proceeded to lift Zabuza onto his back before speaking again. Your struggle is over for now. I must deal with the remains. There are many secrets in this body. They must not be allowed to get into the wrong hands. Please excuse me, farewell. With a one-handed sign, the 2 disappeared in a swirl of mist and leaves. The group just looked at the spot where the 2 were before snapping back to reality. Kakashi was the first and pulled his headband back down over his Sharingan. We haven't completed our mission yet. We still have to get the bridge builder to his bridge, Kakashi announced. Hee, sorry I caused all this trouble for ya, but you can rest at my house when we get to the village. Alright, let's get a move on. Kakashi started before kneeling down and taking several deep breaths. Kakashi-sensei, are you alright? Sakura cried out, hurrying to his side. You're not hurt, are you? Kakashi-sensei? Naruto joined in while Tazuna stood silently looking a little worried with the ever-brooding Sasuke, not moving an inch. Do not worry, kid. He has pushed his body hard with that Sharingan of his and he's just tired. The fox's voice returned to Naruto. Really? Why? Naruto thought curiously. Kyuubi could only face palm. Do I have to spell everything out for you, kid? You're doing the same at this moment, continuously pushing chakra to your eyes to give yourself an advantage. You gain enhanced sight while your sensei gains the Sharingan's powers. Judging by his last name, he shouldn't have the Sharingan at all. Kyuubi explained. Huh. I'm still pushing chakra to my eyes. Naruto withdrew the chakra from his eyes and blinked. They were back to their old crystal blue. I must say I'm a little impressed, kid. Before the fight you could barely walk and channel chakra, now you're fighting full on with it, and don't even notice yourself doing it. The Kyuubi grinned. Cool. So will you teach me something new now, huh? Naruto asked, much to the great beast's annoyance. Patience, kid, if you haven't noticed, you yourself are wearing a bit thin on the fatigue scale right now. That blow to the stomach really knocked you down a notch. Rest for now and I will teach you tomorrow. He replied, and with that, the fox curled up at the back of his cage and began to snore. TSH, no way anyone falls asleep that fast. Stupid fox. Naruto thought. By the time Naruto was fully focused on the real world again, he noticed he was breathing almost as heavily as Kakashi-sensei. After taking a short break, the group set off once again for the Land of Waves. With only a few miles left to go, the group reached the town by late afternoon, immediately heading to Tazuna's house. As soon as the group entered the doorway, Tazuna received a frying pan to the face. "Took you long enough, Dad?" a black-haired woman shouted, stepping into view. "Tsunami, my dear, we got a little sidetracked by some enemy ninja, but nothing these fine ones couldn't handle." He smiled at his daughter. "Is the spare room clean? We have to get this one to lay down for a while." Pointing to Kakashi, "Yes, the room's clean, Dad, just take him up and I'll start dinner." Tsunami made her way back into the kitchen, taking her frying pan with her. "Try to stay out of her way for now, you lot," Tazuna whispered to the team. "When she gets mad, she starts throwing heavy things." He finished with a shudder. Sasuke and Naruto quickly hurried up the stairs with Kakashi's arms round their shoulders and found the spare room. Removing their sensei's bedroll from his pack, the two boys slipped him into it and walked for the door. "I'm really proud of the way you boys handled yourselves today," Kakashi called out to them. They both turned to face their sensei. "Was nothing." Sasuke brushed it off, leaving the room. "Thanks, Kakashi-sensei." Naruto grinned before heading out the door and closing it quietly behind him. On his way back downstairs, Naruto heard a soft whimpering from one of the rooms. Doubling back, he peered through the slightly ajar door to see a young boy kneeling on top of his dresser looking out to the sea, crying whilst looking at something Naruto couldn't quite make out. He was about to go comfort the boy when he decided it was best to leave the boy and ask the other residents of the house if they knew anything about this. After all, no one wants a stranger bursting into their room asking them why they're crying. The rest of the night passed quickly for Team 7. Dinner was prepared and eaten in the rooms prepared for them to sleep in, and after dinner, everyone decided to get an early night and talk in the morning. Naruto fell asleep that night with a feeling of pride. He was proud that Kakashi-sensei finally acknowledged his abilities as a ninja, even if he did get a little help from the Kyuubi. Waves licked the docks as the sun rose the morning after the encounter with Zabuza. Kakashi, still in his bedroll dressed in his Jonin uniform, was going over the battle again and again in his head. Something just doesn't seem right, he thought as his door creaked open, revealing Tsunami. "Waking up, huh? Are you alright?" she asked, laying a small plate of food and drink of water by him. "I've been better, I'm just a little tired is all," he replied, sitting up and grabbing the glass, taking a sip. "Well, just rest until you get your strength back," Tsunami said, smiling at the silver-haired Jonin as he lay back down. Tsunami made to leave just as the rest of Team 7 and Tazuna made their way into the room. "Morning, Kakashi-sensei. Feeling better?" a slightly concerned Naruto asked. "Much better, thank you, Naruto, just a bit stiff still," Kakashi replied, flexing his neck muscles giving a soft click. "Listen, sensei, your Sharingan is amazing and everything, but if it puts that much strain on you maybe it's not worth it," Sakura told him, not knowing just how often his Sharingan saved his and others' lives. "Well, you lot did manage to take out one of the most powerful ninja assassins, so we should be safe for a while." Tazuna sighed, wiping the sweat from his brow. "What about the boy that took him away?" Sakura asked. "He's from the elite tracking unit from the village hidden in the mist. Those masks are only worn by the most elite shinobi," Kakashi began. Everyone listened in, all except Naruto, who had an annoying case of bored Kyuubi to deal with. "Wow, this is boring," the great-tailed demon complained to his jailer. "Where's the channel changer? What else is on?" He chuckled, looking around his cage looking for a control. "Oh haha, very funny fox," Naruto thought, zoning out of the real world. "When are you gonna teach me something new, huh?" "It's tomorrow already." Naruto smiled. He wasn't truly an idiot, he just liked messing with the fox. "There's nothing more fun than winding up an all-powerful entity by pretending not to understand a single word he says." "It's only just morning," the fox roared. "God, you're like a child, wanting a new toy as soon as he's finished with the old one." "Well, you did say I'd mastered the eyes, I bet I can see through a genjutsu at 100 yards. Naruto thought proudly. "Compared to my 10,000 yards, yours is comparable to me when I was a few days old." Kyuubi smirked. Naruto was gobsmacked. Both entities did care for the other somewhat, but when one is stuck inside the other, in all sense of the term bonded at the hip, you can't help but try to annoy one another. Especially when both barely had anyone to talk to for 12 years. "TSH, like I care." Naruto crossed his arms, acting hurt. "You've had hundreds of years to get better, I've had 2 days. Well, many more days and maybe you'll be as good as me in 100 years or so," Kyuubi said, letting out a roar of laughter at Naruto's shocked face. Naruto was filled with determination and let the fox know. "Just you wait. I'll master your powers and become even more powerful than you. I won't stop until I learn all of your powers and master them better than you ever will." The fox expected this but was taken aback a little at the fierce determination written all over Naruto's serious face. Kid's finally got the fire in his belly going again. Now I just need him to focus it, the fox thought proudly. "Well? What are you waiting for?" Kyuubi grinned and kicked Naruto back into reality, and obliterate every trace of their existence. That's their specialty. Kakashi finished as Sasuke and Sakura's eyes widened. Naruto just remained oblivious to this information. Elsewhere, a certain masked ninja was helping another treat his injuries. "The mist has cleared," the now unmasked ANBU member said. "Next time will you be alright?" "Next time, I'll see right through his Sharingan. If Zabuza's gone, why do I feel this way?" As soon as Kakashi finished explaining ANBU Black Ops to his students, memories faded in from when he himself was A and BU. Something's wrong, it's like I've missed something. Kakashi-sensei? Are you feeling okay? Sakura asked with a worried look on her face. Oh yes. To finish what I was saying, Tracker Ninja deal with the body immediately, on the spot, so there's no room for error. Kakashi continued. Is that really important? Sakura asked, confused. Something decided to click in Naruto's mind at that instant. Zabuza's still alive! He shouted out. Sakura, Tazuna and Tsunami gasped. What? You can't be serious? Sakura shouted at Naruto. No, really! That masked guy hit him with 2 tiny needles and took him away. He could be a good actor and pretend to be dead or something. Naruto explained his theory. While not entirely true, he wasn't entirely wrong. Close Naruto, and I'm afraid with all the evidence I have considered, it seems to me that Zabuza could still be alive and kicking. Kakashi sighed. Sasuke's eyes widened at the possibility of having a rematch with the assassin. Kakashi's words had confirmed his own suspicions. Kakashi-sensei, you checked him yourself, you said his heart stopped. Sakura began to panic. She couldn't bear to face the bloodlust of that terrible Jonin again. His heart did stop, but that was just a temporary state, to simulate death. Well, kid. Looks like we've got ourselves a rematch. The fox chuckled back in Naruto's head. Humph, I thought you were going back to sleep or some in, since you won't train me. Naruto thought rather rudely at the fox. The circumstances have changed as you figured out yourself. It seems I'll have to give you your next lesson early. From these 2 factors, we can conclude that the hunter wasn't trying to destroy Zabuza. He was trying to save him. Come on, you're overthinking this, aren't you? Sakura argued. Encountering suspicion, the ninja prepares quickly. Hesitation leads to disaster. Every shinobi knows this saying. Kakashi told her. Sensei, you said prepare quickly, but how can we do that when you're in bed like this? Sakura asked. Kakashi simply chuckled. I can still train you. Hold on. A little last-minute training won't make us strong enough to fight Zabuza. You could barely defeat him even with your Sharingan. She objected. Inside Sakura's mind, thoughts brewed that she didn't have the nerve to say. These took a form of their own, a duplicate of Sakura herself, called Inner Sakura. What? Are you trying to get us killed? Cha! This mental form of Sakura shouted in her mind. Sakura, why were we able to stop Zabuza? Because you all helped. You've grown. Kakashi complimented them. Naruto. Yeah, you've grown the most. So you noticed, Kakashi-sensei. Naruto smiled, showing off his biceps. You're all idiots. A shout from the doorway echoed as a small figure walked in. It's that kid from yesterday. Naruto thought, remembering what he saw through the boy's door. The boy just ran over to his grandfather. Inari, that was very rude. These ninja helped your grandpa and brought him here safely. Tsunami scolded with a stern look on her face. It's okay, I'm rude to them too. Tazuna smiled. Cha! Who does that kid think he is, insulting us like that? Especially Sasuke. Inner Sakura shouted out again. Can't you see these people are going to die? Gado's men will come and kill them. Inari cried out again, hoping he could prevent the loss of more lives. A dark chuckle rose in response. Everyone turned to see the source. It was Sasuke. So, Gado and his men are gonna come? Perfect. Sasuke rose from his spot on the floor and left the room. Sasuke? Was all Sakura could say. The remaining squad's 7 members were stunned at the Uchiha's abrupt departure. Sasuke stepped off the dock and looked back at the house, a smirk plastered on his face as he entered the forest nearby. About an hour later, after everyone else had eaten lunch, Naruto, Sakura and Kakashi, who was currently walking on a single makeshift crutch, headed into the forest. Kakashi led the 2 while Naruto walked next to Sakura. What do you think Kakashi-sensei's gonna teach us? Naruto asked her. I don't know, do I, Naruto? Just be patient and keep an eye out for Sasuke. She yelled back. Geez, what's your problem, Sakura? I was only making conversation. The rest of the walk was spent in silence with Sakura looking round every few minutes, hoping to catch a glimpse of Sasuke. They arrived in a clearing to see splinters on the ground. The trees around the area were full of slash marks, kunai and shuriken. Sakura and Naruto were shocked. What happened here? Naruto asked, not really expecting an answer, running around the clearing. Kakashi just hobbled over to one of the trees and examined it. Sakura just stood in shock, her mind racing through possible scenarios where Sasuke had left to. That was until Naruto snapped her out of it. Kakashi-sensei, I've found Sasuke. Both Kakashi and Sakura's necks nearly snapped at the force their heads turned. Ah, Sasuke! Sakura cried out, hurrying over to where Naruto was with Kakashi following slowly behind her. The last Uchiha was propped up against a tree, his head leaning forward with several cuts and rips over his clothes. Sakura shook his shoulders lightly. Sasuke! Please wake up. Get off me, Sakura. Sakura jumped back. Sasuke's head and eyes rose to meet her own. You're so annoying, he said and lowered his head again. Kakashi finally made it over to the tree and sighed at his student's body. Sasuke was back in the same position Naruto found him in. Only this time, faint snores could be heard from him. Looks like he pushed himself too hard, Kakashi told them. Well, seeing as he's done his own training, I'll have to teach him this later. Kakashi put his hands in the ram hand seal and a small wave of dust lifted off the floor. Naruto and Sakura both looked up at Kakashi as he walked up to a nearby tree. Reaching up with his left foot and placing it on the bark of the tree, Kakashi began steadily walking up the tree, apparently defying gravity. Naruto and Sakura could only stare as even in his fatigued state, Kakashi could still hang upside down on a tree branch with only his feet to keep him there. Surprised? With the power of chakra, this is possible and can be a huge advantage in both battle and spying. Kakashi smiled. Wow, Kakashi-sensei, how do you do it? Naruto asked, almost jumping in joy. Just focus your chakra towards the soles of your feet. Then use it to connect to the tree. This will improve your chakra control. Learning how to draw chakra to any body part and maintaining the flow of chakra will enable you to master any jutsu. The red eye speaks with wisdom. The fox's voice was back. Any tips you can give me, Fox? Naruto thought. Like you taught that young kid, there are no shortcuts. Naruto seemed a bit downhearted at this, however Naruto bounced right back. Now that our chakra is no longer fighting each other, you should find you have much better control over it. Now that you mention it, my shadow clones did seem a bit easier to make when we fought Zabuza. Naruto pondered. Listen kid, the sooner you learn this, the sooner I can give you my next lesson. The QB smirked, leaning back in its cage. Until then, all I need is some popcorn and a drink cause this is gonna be a funny show. Oh yeah? I'll show you, you stupid fox. With that, Naruto awoke to see Kakashi throw 2 kunai into the earth in front of him and Sakura. Use the kunai to mark the tree at the highest point you can climb. Then try and beat that point. Try running to build some momentum. Ready? Go! Naruto and Sakura both performed the ram hand signs and 2 small waves of dust were pushed away from their feet. Naruto sprinted at the tallest tree he could see. This'll be a cinch! He shouted proudly. He lifted his foot, and it stuck to the bark. Yes, he thought as he slowed down a little, continuously trying his hardest to keep the chakra flowing. He lifted his foot to take the next step and the other came loose. Taking a swipe at the tree, he marked his position before he realized how high he'd climbed. Naruto began to fall and his hand shot out to the right, latching to a branch. He panicked and scrambled to get both of his hands on the branch. Phew, that was a close one. He sighed and pulled himself up with his hands. Settling on the branch, he looked over to see how Sakura was doing. Catching a glimpse of Pink, he looked above him. Sakura was sitting proudly just below the leaves of her tree, kunai embedded in the bark of the tree, sticking her tongue out at Naruto. It seems Naruto's chakra control has vastly improved. It must be all the shadow clones he makes. Kakashi thought. As for Sakura, seems as though she's the better of the two. I wonder how good Sasuke's control is though. Sakura looked below Naruto when she spotted something shiny on the ground. She just burst out laughing. What's so funny? Naruto asked, tilting his head confused. You can't even hold onto a kunai. How do you expect to become a good ninja if you can't even do that, right? She laughed. Naruto peered over his legs at the ground. Point down in the grass was his kunai. Damn it, how am I gonna whoa? Naruto leant forward too much and fell off his branch, watching the earth come rushing to meet him. He closed his eyes and braced himself for the pain. He heard a soft thunk but never felt any pain. Slowly he opened his eyes and saw the ground an inch from his nose. What the? How am I? He began and looked at his feet. Both were on tiptoes planted to the tree. No sooner did he realize this than he hit the floor. Oof. Kakashi was now right side up again, was surprised at Naruto's actions. Inside his head, a mighty roar of laughter could be heard ringing through the sewers. Such a small area so soon, Kakashi thought. Alright Naruto, enough laying around. Try again. A short distance away, hidden behind a tree, a small figure dressed in green overalls, blue sandals and a white and blue hat watched the 2 genin run up and down the trees. What a waste of time, he muttered before walking off. The door opened to reveal 2 broad henchmen and their leader, the infamous Gato. He was a short businessman with matching attire, black circle shades and crazy dirty blonde hair. He strode up to Zabuza's bed and glared down at the hired shinobi. Alright, let's hear what you have to say about this fiasco, and don't play possum, I know you can talk. His hand reached out to remove the bandages around his mouth. A hand shot out and crushed the other's wrist. Gato yelped in pain. Keep your filthy hands off of him. Zabuza's ANBU guard warned. Haku, Zabuza said. The instant he warned her, she let go of his wrist. Gato quickly hurried behind his 2 bodyguards. One chance. That's it. If you fail this time, I'll cut you off and there'll be no one left to cover for you. He yelled before quickly escorting himself out. Haku, yes? Zabuza, I have a bad feeling in my gut. That's just the herbs doing their work. Haku giggled. Underneath Zabuza's mask, he smiled. No, aside from that, when we go to finish off Kakashi and his brats, if something goes wrong you leave me and run. But nothing. You will do as I order, and I order you to run if I should fall. Haku had a look of dismay on her face. Understood, Zabuza. Their training had been going on a while now. Naruto and Sakura were both worn out and had multiple scratches where they had fallen. Sasuke had woken up a short while after they had started and Kakashi had given him the rundown. Sakura currently held the title of highest run. She was only a few steps off the treetop. Unfortunately, that's when her chakra pool had run dry. She couldn't make it halfway up without falling now. She kept at it though, trying to extend her chakra pool so she could catch up with the other two. Naruto was next, falling only 3 feet short of Sakura's height. He had the chakra and the control, he just wanted to let his Sakura be the first to make it to the top. Kyuubi had, of course, reprimanded him for this. To make up for it, he told Naruto to now climb the tree with his hands only, which meant doing a handstand. Sasuke was rested and ready, though his chakra control was even worse than Naruto's and only made it halfway up. Luckily for the others, he was too tired to brood from his earlier workout. Alright everyone, that's enough. It's getting late, so we better head back, Kakashi announced. Sakura just flopped onto the floor. Sasuke and Naruto, however, landed neatly after finishing their final run. Slowly, they all began to troop back to the house. Once they reached the end of the forest, Sakura rested her back against a tree. Hey, you okay, Sakura? Naruto asked, concerned. I'm okay, Naruto. I'm just a little tired is all, she replied. Pushing herself off the tree, she took another step and collapsed to her knees. Naruto gave her a sympathetic look. He walked round to her front and bent down. Here. I'll give you a lift back, he muttered. Sakura wasn't one to deny help when she really needed it, and climbed onto Naruto. He gripped under her knees and began walking back while she wrapped her arms round his head. Naruto walked into the house and made a beeline for Sakura's room, dodging Tsunami, who was setting the table for them. He hurried upstairs and lay her down atop her sleeping bag. She had fallen asleep on the way back. Naruto smiled at her as he folded the covers over up to her neck and left the room. On his way through the kitchen, he grabbed his plate of food and made for the door. And just where do you think you're going? A stern voice called behind him. He froze. Like a deer caught in headlights, he slowly turned to face Tsunami armed with a spatula. I was gonna train. I just need a snack to recover. He gave her his fox-like grin. Tsunami was not impressed. You are going to stay here and eat with the rest of us like a good ninja, she ordered as Naruto opened the door. So you think I'm a good ninja? Thanks, then like a good ninja, I'll escape with my objective. He smirked and there was a puff of smoke as Naruto stood there. This Naruto had no plate of food, however, and just burst into smoke. Replacement mixed with shadow clones, Kakashi muttered, entering the kitchen just as the little display ended. A short distance from the house, Naruto just let out a long laugh and headed back to the clearing in the forest, eating his dinner all the while. Naruto heard a large yawn in the back of his mind and he felt his prisoner waking up. He left his plate on a stump and walked into the middle of the clearing and sat down. All right, Fox, I can run up and down the tree without falling, on both my hands and feet too, now teach me, he thought. Good evening to you too, the fox said sarcastically. So you can do it on your hands and feet now, just your tongue? No way. I've been waiting all day. Just teach me whatever you have planned. He's gonna regret that, the fox thought as he burned some information into Naruto's head. Gah! What the hell? What did you do now? He thought, clutching his head as the familiar pain ebbed away. You're going to learn a very useful jutsu tonight, the fox began. Unfortunately, as soon as Naruto heard the words learn and jutsu in the same sentence, it set him off. Alright. Woohoo! He shouted out, jumping up and down. Calm down. Naruto froze. I know you're not this big of an idiot, so stop acting like one around me. We are together until you die and I am not putting up with that stupid farce all the time. Naruto just smirked. When did you figure it out? I took you up on your offer and saw for myself. When I linked our minds, it also gave me access to all your memories and previous thoughts. That's how I knew you had spoken to the Hokage's son, Kyuubi explained. TSH, find anything interesting? Naruto asked, knowing exactly what the fox had seen, having lived through it himself. Enough, was all he answered, enough to know that you aren't the idiot you pretend to be, and I for one am not going to put up with it. So what are the hand signs for? I thought you, being a fox, couldn't use them, Naruto asked, talking about the signs the Kyuubi had burned into his memory. I do not need such trivial things to unleash my power. You, however, do. At least for now. It's called the Kyuubi's Claw. When used correctly, it can cut through any substance known to Kyuubi air, me. He grinned. Cool, but you know I'm going to have to rename it. People won't be happy with the name, Naruto reasoned. The fox recalled painful memories of the boy, who did not understand why the villagers called him Fox. A sneaky way to avoid the third's law, I see, Kyuubi thought. Why not rename it Fox's Claw? He asked. Why would I call it that? Naruto retorted. Perform the hand signs and channel the chakra into your right hand and you'll see. Kyuubi grinned. Naruto did as he was told and gasped at the results. Whoa, nice. He smirked. Back at the house there was a loud crash coming from the forest. Kakashi put Sakura's food by her head and looked out the window. He could just make out the top of a tree and it was collapsing. What the hell is he doing? Kakashi wondered. Naruto just did not have that sort of power to take out a tree unless he spent all this time hacking the same spot with a kunai. Kakashi couldn't sense any danger either, nor any trace of Naruto's prisoner's chakra. 3 more trees fell that night and Naruto did not return. Kakashi resolved to look for him as soon as he finished breakfast, finally rid of that damn crutch as his chakra returned. Tsunami served breakfast bright and early. When all but Inari were present, Naruto walked in through the door without a care in the world, plate in hand. "Morning, everyone." He smiled as he put his plate in the sink not a moment too soon. Wham! He tasted wood as his head hit the floor. Sakura was seething with rage. "How dare you make us worry all night, Naruto?" she yelled. "Ah, Sakura. I was just training, no big deal." He waved his hands in front of his face, trying to prevent another punch as he jumped back to his feet. "No big deal? Why you? That's enough, you two." They both turned to see Tsunami with her hands on her hips, a look of annoyance on her face. "Sit down and eat your breakfast, then spar," she yelled at them, faster than a blink of an eye. The two were in their places at the table. "Wow, she's scary when she's mad," Kakashi whispered to Tazuna. "You think this is bad? You should see the time I tried to bring a girl home." A frying pan flew between the two adults like a kunai at its target. A shadowy-eyed Tsunami was holding another one. "What was that, Dad?" she said in sickly sweet voice. Only Tsunami was left at the table as both ninja and grandfather alike had inhaled their food and gotten out of the house as fast as possible. Inari chose this moment to walk into the room. "Morning, Mum. What's for He took one look at her face and even he knew the wrath of Tsunami was something to be feared and disappeared in a flash too, deciding to skip breakfast today. Today, Tazuna was working on the bridge. Sakura was on guard. Kakashi was somewhere and Naruto and Sasuke were allowed to return to the forest to train some more. They split up to train today. Naruto fled deeper into the forest as Sasuke just returned to his tree climbing. Determined to reach the top before dinner, after about 10 minutes worth of warm-ups, Sasuke ran towards the tree. He sprinted towards the top and past yesterday's last marker. A large crash echoed throughout the forest, breaking his concentration. Sasuke couldn't help it, he lost his balance and flow of chakra before crashing back down to earth without marking his position. What was that? He thought. That came from the direction Naruto went. Foregoing his training, Sasuke hurried in the direction of the crash and Naruto, not out of concern for Blonde, but so he could see what kind of power made a sound like that. He heard heavy breathing nearby and whirled around looking for it. Catching a glimpse of orange, he ran over to it. Naruto was standing over a broken tree. It had fallen due to the power of his latest attack. "Seems I've got at least a grip on it now," Naruto said as Sasuke walked up to him. "What happened here, Dobe?" Sasuke asked, looking over at the mutilated tree. "My latest jutsu, one that'll beat the pants off of anyone," he shouted out, his mask of idiocy back in place. With no one and nothing else around, Sasuke concluded that Naruto must have been the one to destroy the tree. "Show me," he simply asked. "Tsh, yeah right, like I'm gonna show you my new strongest attack." Naruto laughed and began to walk off. "I said show me," Sasuke shouted and aimed a punch at Naruto's back. Reacting quickly, Naruto sidestepped the punch and jumped into a tree. "Only if you catch me," he chuckled. Sasuke grinned, thinking how easy it would be before at least 50 Naruto clones surrounded him. "Catch us if you can." They all shouted and jumped off into different parts of the forest. "Damn you!" Sasuke muttered and jumped after the nearest one. A few minutes later, Naruto left the forest smiling. That should take him a while. He chuckled and paused for a second. That's for he's caught. Regaining the memories of the latest caught shadow clone as he headed towards the village. Even before Naruto entered the town, he could tell things were bad. Buildings had chunks missing. Some places looked like they could collapse at any moment. There were even big patches of black, burned boards where houses once stood. "Must be Gatos doing," Naruto mumbled as he passed many sections with burned down houses. Making it into town, Naruto found the atmosphere to be a bit livelier, even if only a little. This also meant the amount of beggars increased as well. Despite having the fiercest tailed beast in his belly, Naruto felt heartbroken at the amount of kids he saw scrounging in bins, robbing from shops and dressed in rags. He swore to himself that he would help this land however he can. Finding what he was looking for, Naruto entered a small shop entitled Kuromo's Clothes. The shop was dusty and run down, but fine clothes stood proudly on display, gathering dust like the cash register. An old man looked up from the counter as he heard Naruto enter, his white beard and bald head reflecting a few rays of the sun. "Huh! Good afternoon, sir. Can I help you with anything?" he asked. Naruto assumed his name was Kuromo. "Yeah," Naruto slowly asked, still taking a look around the place. "I would like some much darker clothes than this. Something with a kind of black and dark orange motif if you have it." The owner glanced up and down Naruto. "Are you a ninja, young sir?" "Yes, why? Is something wrong?" No, the elderly man replied. "In fact, I think I have just the thing for you." He scuttled off into the back room of the shop. Naruto patiently waited, looking around at the clothes. Something hit the floor in the back room and Naruto heard the old man curse. He chuckled to himself as the man re-emerged carrying a wide, thin box. "Is this the kind of thing you are looking for?" he asked, taking the dusty lid off. Inside sat a long-sleeved black jacket with dark orange stripes down the arms, pants that fit perfectly with more dark orange stripes on the inside of the black pant legs. The outfit was complete with new blue sandals. "It's perfect!" Naruto shouted, almost deafening the poor old man. "How much?" "Only 3,000 ryo." The old man told Naruto with hope in his eyes. Even without his enhanced vision, Naruto could see how desperate the man was to sell something. "Old man, how long has this town been like this?" Naruto asked. The shopkeeper lowered his head and sat back behind his desk. It seems like forever now, the ruthless businessman Gato has drained this country of everything. Money, resources, hope. Naruto thought if he was going to start helping the country, what better time than now? How much did you say this was? Naruto asked again. 3,000 ryo. Please say you'll buy it. Here, this is all I got. Naruto opened up his Gamachan wallet and emptied its contents onto the desktop. I want you to go out and buy up all the food you can, minus what I owe you for the outfit, and help everyone who's hungry. The shopkeeper's eyes widened as he shifted through the notes and coins, finding well over 10,000 ryo. Hey, are you serious? The shopkeeper's eyes were glistening, filled with the same hope he'd seen in Tezuna's eyes when he talked about the bridge. Naruto just nodded. I place my trust in you, sir. I'm going to take down Gato with my team. The old man's going to finish his bridge and you're going to help feed everyone you can. Naruto picked up the dusty box and opened the door. Make sure my trust in you is not misplaced. He called back with a little killer intent in his voice and left the store. As Naruto's footsteps grew fainter, the old man just looked down at the pile of notes and coins left on his storefront. With a smile, he gathered the cash into his empty pouch and looked for his overcoat. Naruto arrived back at the house as Tsunami slammed the door out of the kitchen, running upstairs while calling after Inari. Naruto entered to find his lukewarm dinner still on his plate and Tazuna with tears in his eyes. The rest of Team 7 had gathered round the old man, and he was telling his tale about why Inari was the way he was now. Sasuke shot Naruto a scathing glare at being outwitted earlier but was too tired to make a scene, resolving to just listen to the old man's story for now. Half an hour later, as Naruto finished his meal, Tazuna finished his tale. We lost our will. Naruto was looking hard at the table and his empty plate, thinking about everything that he had seen and heard. He rose from the table, picked up his package and headed for his room. Naruto? Where are you going? Sakura called out, a little worried for him. He hadn't said a word through Tezuna's entire story. Naruto said only one word, training, before he left the room and went upstairs. As he passed Inari's room, he heard the young boy still whimpering while his mother tried to comfort him as much as she could. He left the box by his bedroll and jumped out of the window into the night. The sun rose next morning bright and early as usual. Haku reveled in the morning sun creeping through the branches in the forest. She just started collecting the special herbs to speed up Zabuza's recovery when he stumbled upon a small orange figure. Haku recognized him from the battle between Sharingan Kakashi's team and Zabuza. She reached out to grab Naruto's throat. The kid just rolled over when a beam of sunlight hit his face Haku was previously blocking. Poor Haku was now conflicted. Remove an obstacle for Zabuza or leave the boy alive to threaten them once more. Wake up, you'll catch cold if you stay out here. Haku nudged Naruto's shoulder. Naruto slowly stirred awake and opened his eyes. First thing he saw was an out-of-focus pink blob. Sakura? That you? He asked, holding his hand in the way of the light, using the other to wipe his eyes. He finally regained normal vision and saw the Haku's smiling face staring back at his own. She was dressed in a bright pink dress complete with dark pink swirls. Morning, sleepyhead. Morning? Already? Man, how long was I training? He asked himself. Well, you fell asleep out here, so quite a while I expect. Haku answered for him, flashing a warm smile. What you got there? Naruto asked, looking into the basket. Herbs, I need them to help my friend get better. Haku replied. You want some help? Naruto blushed. Why, thank you, that would be lovely. Naruto began helping Haku gather enough herbs for her basket to fill it to the brim. So, you're a ninja, are you? I gather from your headband you're from the Leaf Village. Sure am. Naruto yanked a fistful of herbs from the ground too hard and fell backward. Haku giggled at the sight of Naruto acting like a turtle on its back. Yeah, I'm from the Leaf. This is actually my first time outside the village. Really? Well, you must be training hard to live up to all the other ninja. Haku smiled again. Sure am. I just made up a new jutsu that's the strongest ever. Naruto said proudly. Really? Why would you need such powerful techniques? Haku asked. So I can become Hokage one day. I am going to change the way my village works, then maybe I can help places like these out better. Naruto stated proudly. Then everyone will respect me. What about family? Are you doing this to make your parents proud? Or to make that someone precious to you see you can protect them? Naruto looked a little downhearted at this. I don't have any family. I've been on my own ever since I can remember. He's like me then. Haku thought as her mind drifted back to how she first met Zabuza. What about you? Who's this friend you're taking care of? Naruto asked, bringing Haku back to reality. Me? He saved my life. It's only right I do my best to protect him like he has to me. He is my only precious person. Haku replied. When you fight to protect someone, you become truly strong. Naruto thought back to Tezuna's story, what Kakashi said before the battle with Zabuza, and finally when he fought to protect Irika-sensei when Mizuki attacked. He'd taken out a Chunin with a single jutsu that day. Albeit he did a lot of taijutsu, but still. Yeah, I know what you mean. Naruto smiled. Keep training like this and you'll become much stronger. Haku said as she rose to her feet, taking her basket and began walking away. We'll meet again sometime, oh, and by the way, I'm a boy. Naruto just watched Haku walk away. He then stood up and made his way back to the house before muttering, yeah right, Sasuke was in the forest. looking for the dobe who just didn't know when to quit. What an idiot, he thought. Sasuke looked up ahead and saw a guy dressed in pink pass him. Something tried to make itself known at the back of his mind. Sasuke just ignored it, however. If it was something important, he would remember it later. The two passed in silence. Naruto? Where are you? Sakura called out as she and Kakashi walked through the forest, also looking for the blonde genin. Over here, Sakura. Naruto's voice called out from somewhere up ahead. Sakura and Kakashi arrived a little further from their usual training spot to find Naruto standing on the topmost branch of a tree. He threw his kunai back at Kakashi's feet. I finally mastered it, Kakashi-sensei. Naruto shouted down at his two team members before falling unconscious, appearing to have reached the end of his endurance, and losing balance on his branch. Ah, Naruto! Sakura called out as Naruto fell faster and faster. Kakashi was about to jump when Naruto stopped falling. He had one hand planted on the tree and woke up. You guys really fell for it, haha. Naruto laughed as he saw the look on their faces. Naruto! We were worried about you. Sakura threatened as inner Sakura fumed in her mind. I'm gonna kill that little dork. Cha, she shouted. Why do I think this is going to end badly? Kakashi thought as Naruto walked back down the tree. Sakura lashed out at him, but he simply sidestepped it. Sakura was confused for a moment, then threw another punch at his face. Naruto's hand caught hers. Stop doing that, Sakura. It's getting really old, really fast, he said, letting go of her hand as she just stood there, stunned. Naruto, have you seen Sasuke? Kakashi asked, glancing around the clearing. No, I haven't. Why? Did Sasuke miss me? He laughed as Sasuke entered the clearing. Like that would ever happen, dope. He brooded as he made his way up to Kakashi. Well, looks like the gang's all here. He smiled. Ready for more training? Night fell. Zabuza felt his strength returning to him. Haku pondered on the morning's conversation with a certain blonde, and Sasuke had finally reached the top of the tree with Sakura's help. Our favorite blonde was drilling through some unique taijutsu moves he wouldn't allow Kakashi to see. Team 7 entered the kitchen exhausted. Both Sakura and Sasuke collapsed into their chairs while Naruto was still fighting with Kakashi. I just want to check if you're doing it correctly, Naruto. Kakashi reasoned. I know what I'm doing, sensei. I just want an ace up my sleeve. Naruto argued back. That's that, Kakashi-sensei, and I'm not changing my mind. Kakashi decided to pull a Sasuke and just eat his dinner quietly. You lot look like hell. What have you been up to? Tazuna asked politely. We've been training to get stronger. All of us can reach the top of the trees with our chakra. Sakura beamed, suddenly full of energy now some food was in front of her. That reminds me. Naruto, Sasuke, you two will be guarding Tazuna tomorrow on the bridge. Kakashi told them. Good, good. Tazuna replied. Finished off his own meal and letting out a large sigh of satisfaction. In a few days, the bridge will be finished. Tazuna stated. You've done well, Dad, but try to stay careful. Tsunami asked as she cleared the plates. I have been meaning to ask, but haven't had the chance till now. Why did you decide to stay and protect me? Even after you found out I lied to bring you here. Those who stray from the path of justice have no courage, but under the wing of a strong leader, cowardice cannot survive. That was a quote from the first Hokage. Kakashi said, appearing to finish pulling up his mask as all eyes turned to him. Inari began thinking about the quote and glanced at a tired Naruto who decided the table made a good pillow. Memories came back again of his late father. If you care about something, protect it with both arms. The words drifted back to Inari's mind as he remembered the picture of his dad upstairs. Tears flowed freely down his face. But why? He muttered. Everyone glanced up at him. Inari slammed his hands down on the table and yelled out. All this training is a waste of time. Gato's got a whole army. They'll beat you down and destroy you. These cool things you all say, they don't mean anything. No matter what you say, the strong always win and the weak always lose. Inari was cut off by a soft chuckle. Instantly, Sakura turned towards Sasuke, but he wasn't making a peep. It was Naruto who was chuckling and getting louder all the while. Well, it's a good thing we're stronger then, isn't it? He spoke. You're lying. There's no way you could beat an army. You're just gonna get yourself killed. Inari yelled out. You don't know what this country's been through. You always make jokes and laugh, but you have no idea of the suffering we've endured. Enough! Naruto yelled, slamming his hands down on the table. Inari's tears suddenly stopped. Don't know what you've suffered? I know more about it than you ever will. If you're so tired of being pushed around all the time and weak, work to make yourself stronger. Inari just stood there, silent, tears flowing back down his face. Naruto rose from the table and put his hands in his pockets. What a coward, he muttered before he left. Everyone in the room heard this and were too shocked to say anything. Naruto just stood at his window, looking out at the unfinished bridge in the distance. Down below, he heard a door slide open and Kakashi's voice ring into the night air. Can I talk to you? He asked the small figure that was Inari curled up in a ball. Naruto just let out a sigh and turned his back on the view, resting his elbows on the window frame still. There was a knock at his door. Come in, he called out. A depressed-looking Sakura opened the door. Oh, hey Sakura, what's up? Naruto asked as she stepped into the room. Hi Naruto. She started slowly. I just wanted to apologize for earlier, when I tried to hit you. It's okay, It's no big deal, Sakura. Naruto smiled as he heard Kakashi's words drift up from below. He didn't know either of his parents, and he didn't have a single friend in the village. Sakura also heard these words and looked at Naruto with a little sympathy in her eyes. Naruto pretended not to hear and carried on their conversation. Is that all, Sakura? He asked, his typical grin plastered on his face. Is it true though? Is what true? Naruto replied, pretending he didn't know what he was talking about. That you've never known your parents, she drifted off. Naruto just let out another long sigh before replying. Yeah, but I don't feel bad for it. I can't miss them if never even knew about them. He replied, his happy mask still in place if only just. Kakashi's words came back through the open window. He wants to be respected, that's his dream, and he'll put his life on the line for that in a heartbeat. Another pang of guilt hit Sakura's heart, and another crack in Naruto's mask appeared as his mouth twitched. Naruto, she whispered as he closed his eyes, willing the tears to not break free. Before he knew it, Sakura enveloped him in a hug. He felt confused at first but leant his head on her shoulder as he softly whimpered. I'm sorry, Naruto, for everything. It was a bright, sunny morning in Wave Country. There was barely a cloud in the sky and today looked like a good day to get that little bit closer to finishing the bridge. Take care of Naruto for us. Sakura waved back to Tsunami as Squad 7 and Tazuna head towards the bridge. As they walked, Sakura thought back to the night before, to the things she heard drifting through the window when holding Naruto. Sakura let out a small sigh as she remembered holding him close while he cried. Naruto hadn't let out a single tear, but he was as close to crying as Sakura had ever seen him. Screams and yells echoed into the mist as, one by one, men fell to Zabuza's blade skills. Not dead, just unconscious. After all, Gato did have to have people to extort after this. A small brown bird landed on Naruto's window and chirped its morning song. Naruto stirred at the noise before opening his eyes slowly. Wow, I feel drained, he thought. Yeah, releasing your emotions will do that to ya. The fox stirred in his mind. Naruto just grunted and rolled over. It took a few seconds for his brain to fully boot up. Gah! He yelled out, startling himself as well as the fox. What? What's going on? Why? The fox jumped to his feet. Unfortunately, his cage was not built for him to jump in. His head struck the ceiling before letting out a roar of pain. I'm late. I can't believe they forgot to wake me up. Naruto shouted as he scrambled to get his new outfit on. Calm down, Naruto. The motherly voice of Tsunami slid through the doorway as he passed her and Inari in the lounge. Your sensei told us to let you rest. Naruto still hurried as he hopped on one foot, putting his last sandal on. Rest? I'm fine, just need to wake up more is all. Naruto slapped his face a few times before heading off through the door. See ya. He took off like a rocket into the trees, hoping he could catch up to the team before they reached the bridge. A weird noise came from below. Ah man! Prefect timing! Naruto yelled sarcastically and hopped down to the ground. Team 7 and Tazuna had reached the end of the bridge only to find all the workers out cold or groaning in pain scattered across the ground. Tazuna quickly rushed over to one of the men, propping his head up. What happened here? He asked the man sternly with worry heavy in his voice. It was a monster. The man croaked out before falling into unconsciousness. A thick mist descended around the bridge. Hidden mist jutsu. They all thought as small sounds they made became amplified in the silence it brought. Sasuke was shaking. Sakura couldn't see his face, but she redoubled her efforts, trying to sense Zabuza or any attack he threw in the mist. Long time no see, Kakashi. Zabuza's voice rang out through the mist. I see you're still with those brats, and look, one's ready to wet himself. A sinister chuckle reverberated around them moments before several Zabuza clones surrounded the group. I'm shaking from excitement. Sasuke smirked. Do it, Sasuke! Kakashi ordered. In a flash of movement, all of the Zabuza clones were reduced to water. Seems like the brat learned something. Too bad he still can't keep up with Haku. Zabuza laughed as the hunter ninja from before stepped up behind Zabuza, blocking the escape route back down the bridge. Seems like I was right. He is working with Zabuza. Kakashi said, take off your mask, you phony, and show us what you really look like. Sakura yelled as the hunter ninja just remained motionless. I'll take him, Sasuke said, confidently taking a step forward. He tricked us, and now he's gonna pay for it. Sakura stayed quiet and edged towards Tazuna, making her role clear to the other three. Impressive, water clones are only 1/10 the strength of the original and he bested them all. Haku stated. Zabuza chuckled, but we have the advantage. Go! Haku disappeared in a flash. What? Sasuke gasped as he readied himself for an attack. The sound of metal on metal rang out as Haku and Sasuke clashed blades, kunai versus Senbon. The door and frame caved in as multiple slashes destroyed them. Are you Tazuna's daughter? One of the two men asked, sheathing his sword. Tsunami could only look at them with shock on her face. Inari heard the crash from downstairs and hurried to investigate. Rounding the corner into the kitchen, he saw the table upturned and his mom backing away from the two thugs. Mom! He shouted out as the thugs turned to face him. Run, Inari! Get away from here! She yelled out at him as he stood frozen in fear. Should we take him too? The thug with the eye patch asked the other. We only need one hostage. The shorter one, with marks like tears from his eyes, replied cruelly. Should I kill him then? Eye patch asked, drawing his blade. Wait! Tsunami shouted. If you kill that child, I will bite off my tongue and kill myself. The two were slightly stunned at her threat. You want a hostage, right? Hee hee, thank your mom, kid. The shorter one mocked. Damn, I was hoping to slice something to pieces. Eye Patch laughed. The two thugs then grabbed Tsunami and hoisted her to her feet. Inari dropped to the ground and hugged his knees. Mom, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm a weak kid so I can't protect you. I don't want to die but I'm afraid. What a coward. Naruto's voice drifted back to Inari as he remembered all the things the others had told him. Naruto, Kakashi, Tsunami and Kaiza, his dad. Will I also be able to become strong, Dad? Hee looking at that pretty skin makes me want to cut it. Eye Patch smirked as tears and he had completed their mission. Wait! A voice behind them called out. Inari? Tsunami shouted. It's that kid again. Good, get away from my mom! He yelled, charging at them with all his might. Cut him, sure. The two henchmen muttered together. Inari. Tsunami called out, wishing with all he might that he would turn and leave her. Two swords were joined and slashed through the air at Inari. 3 pieces of wood hit the ground in his place. What? The Eye Patch thug thought as they heard a triumphant voice behind them. Sorry for being late, Inari. Naruto smiled at the boy, lowering him down to the ground. But the hero always arrives at the last second. Replacement jutsu. The thugs turned to face Naruto, dressed in his new outfit that gave only amplified the dark look he was giving them. You tried to kill my mission, you'll pay for that. He yelled out, raining shuriken upon them. Backing up, the two struggled to block all the shuriken, some catching them in the knee, others slicing skin, and one made its way between Eye Patch's legs, firmly planted there. Eye Patch went down with a high-pitched squeal as his partner looked on helplessly. A kunai dug into his arm, causing him to drop his sword. Naruto rushed up to him and kicked it away before wheeling round on his other foot and roundhoused the guy in the face, knocking him into the water out cold. Naruto walked up to Eye Patch, who was still clutching his extremities. He grabbed him by the collar and lifted him to his height, which wasn't that much. Where's Gato? He yelled in the guy's face. Hee, you're too late, kid. By the time you reach the bridge, all your friends will be dead. This earned him a swift punch to the face. Shut up and tell me what I want to know. Naruto throttled him again. URG probably on his way to the bridge to finish off Zabuza and his annoying brat. He smirked. Naruto was at a loss. Why would an employer kill one of his own men? What are you talking about? Naruto asked, now calmer, trying to make sense of the situation. The demon's brat nearly broke his arm. Here, Gato's not gonna stand for. Eye Patch finally passed out from the pain. Tsunami and Inari were locked in a fierce hug. Don't ever do something like that again. Tsunami cried, holding on to Inari as tightly as she could. I'm sorry, Mom, I just didn't want you to get hurt. Inari chalked out over his own sobs. You two better get inside, Naruto called out, using a clone to drag the thug from the water back to the small dock and tie both up. Naruto, why did you come back? How did you know that? Inari started before Naruto interrupted. Using my awesome ninja skills, I managed to find these guys' tracks even while jumping through the trees. I thought they were suspicious due to the slash marks on the trees and everything, so I came to check you were safe. Naruto gave them his signature foxy grin. Besides, I made it just in time to see how strong and brave you've gotten. He laughed, patting Inari on the head. Inari just looked dumbstruck and looked down, tears beginning to form in his eyes. Thanks, Naruto. He yelled out as Naruto covered his ears. Ah, Inari, I need these things. You trying to make me deaf or something? Naruto yelled back. The two just smirked at each other and laughed. Naruto glanced back over to the thugs. I think that's everything taken care of here. I'm going to go help my friends, he said. Take care of things here, Inari. You can count on me, Naruto. Before Inari's eyes, Naruto burst into a puff of smoke. I don't want to have to kill you, but you won't stand down, will you? Haku asked as Sasuke and she continued their blade battle, each trying to outmatch the other in strength. To a loser like you? Forget it. He smirked. Haku sighed, her mask appearing downcast. Very well, I'll have to take you down then, she said calmly. Haku began forming one-handed seals as Kakashi looked on in shock. One-handed seals? That's impossible, he thought. Hidden jutsu, 1,000 needles of death. Haku finished. The water around Sasuke and Haku rose before hardening into 1,000 ice Saban needles. What the? Sasuke started as Haku released her stance and jumped back, out of the way of the incoming needles. Focused my chakra to the legs. The tinkle of ice shattering was heard on a massive scale as each Saban crashed into the ground, or each other. He's gone! Haku thought quickly before a single shuriken landed in front of her. Jumping back, several more landed before her each time she landed. Too slow! A voice hissed from behind her. Wheeling around, Haku saw Sasuke's kunai aim right for her throat. Reacting fast, Haku brought her arm up to block the blow before realizing the true intent of the attack and ducking as the kunai cut through the air his head was a second ago. A swift kick sent Haku rolling back to Zabuza as Sasuke ended his attack perfectly. Looks like I'm faster. Sasuke smirked, standing upright. You shouldn't underestimate my team, Zabuza, Kakashi called out. Sasuke is the Hidden Leaf's #1 rookie. Sakura is the bright one. As for Naruto? He's the #1 unpredictable ninja in the village. Both Sakura and Sasuke felt proud their teacher recognized their abilities. Dark chuckling could be heard coming from Zabuza before it turned into full-on laughing. It seems we've underestimated them, Haku, At this rate, we won't finish till noon. We can't have that, Haku replied, rising to her feet and putting both hands in a seal Kakashi hadn't seen before. Water rose around Sasuke again, but this time became thicker and taller, almost like hidden jutsu, demonic ice mirrors. Haku then calmly walked into the closest mirror before appearing on all 21. Kakashi realized too late that his student was trapped. Damn it! He charged before Zabuza appeared in front of him. Your opponent is me, he said, blocking his path. Sasuke's yell erupted from the ice mirror's prison as a hail of Saban ravaged his body. Sasuke! Kakashi yelled out. Try to pass me and I'll kill these two. Zabuza nodded in Sakura and Tazuna's direction. Sasuke! Sakura cried out as the Saban still tore at his body. I'm sorry, Mr. Tazuna, I'm going to leave you for a second, she told him quietly while he just grunted in response. Sakura pulled a kunai from her pouch and jumped to where she had a clear shot of her teammate. Sasuke! Catch! She called out as she hurled the kunai between the ice. It stopped in midair as Haku leaned out of her ice mirror to catch it. She just glanced at the kunai and looked directly at Sakura. Haku pulled his wrist back to flick the kunai when a fist connected with his cheek. This knocked Haku clean out of the mirror, as Naruto landed with a shining grin on his face. Naruto! Sakura squealed with joy, now back in front of Tazuna. Ugh, it's you! Haku stammered, returning to her feet, staring Naruto down with a large crack appearing on her mask. You wouldn't be willing to quit while we're ahead, would you? Naruto asked, grinning with one arm back behind his head. Naruto! Like that's going to Sakura began. It was at this time that the group discovered Naruto's new look. Kakashi actually raised an eyebrow. No one had ever seen Naruto in anything but orange, unless you caught him in his nightwear. Like my new look, Kakashi-sensei? I think it makes me look like a proper ninja, Naruto called out, not taking his eyes off Haku for a second. Now's not the time, Naruto. We have a mission to complete. Kakashi shouted back in his usual, droll voice now that Sasuke had been saved. You're so mean, Kakashi-sensei. Hey, Sakura. What do you think? He asked, flexing his bicep. Sakura was speechless and just looked away, blushing lightly. This boy, he really does live up to his title, Haku thought. If you removed her mask, you would see a blush also covering her cheeks. Too bad he must be removed. Haku disappeared and reappeared in front of Naruto. Damn, he thought loudly as he was kicked in the gut, sending him into the ice mirror ring, landing on top of Sasuke's body. Naruto! Kakashi yelled as Haku once again melted into the ice mirrors. Get off me, murmured a tired Sasuke, giving Naruto a shove off his leg. Sasuke, are you okay? Naruto asked, jumping up, lifting Sasuke to his feet. I'm fine, nothing I can handle. He panted, removing several Saban from joint areas. Did you figure out how to beat him yet? Naruto asked, watching as the mirrors were filled with clones of Haku. If I did, would I still be in here? Sasuke yelled. He's right though. If we can't figure out a way out of these ice mirrors, then we're finished, he thought. Wait, ice mirrors. Naruto, cover me. Sasuke ordered as Naruto instantly formed 8 clones of himself, surrounding both Sasuke and himself. Sasuke punched through the one blocking his vision. What the hell was that for Sasuke? Naruto yelled as the clone's short memories returned to him. Sasuke shrugged off Naruto's yells as he performed the hand signs for fire style, fireball jutsu. He yelled out and blew a huge ball of fire at one of the mirrors, engulfing it in flames. Whoa! All the Naruto muttered, as they stood there stunned. Sasuke let up on the fireball to reveal the ice mirror still intact. Only the outer frost had been melted, leaving the rest clear and flat. Such a low-level jutsu can't possibly destroy these mirrors, Haku stated, emotionless before restarting his technique, raining Saban down on both boys, destroying all of Naruto's clones. That's it! Naruto shouted, his now red, slitted eyes piercing through the slight mist. Shadow clone jutsu. Over 30 Naruto poofed into existence and jumped at the mirrors. Some on their own, others double-teamed. All were useless. Another barrage of Saban quickly saw them off while the real Naruto and Sasuke stuck back to back in the center. Trying to follow or catch me is impossible. You should just give up, Haku said. This jutsu uses the mirror's reflection to transport me. From my point of view, you're moving in slow motion. A bloodline, Kakashi murmured before raising his headband. I'll just need to even the playing field. The Sharingan again? Don't you have any other tricks, Kakashi? Zabuza chuckled. Bloodline or not, I still have to fulfill my dream and become Hokage, Naruto shouted triumphantly. Dreams, Haku muttered before thinking back to the first meeting with Zabuza. Give it a rest, everyone knows about your dream. A voice in Naruto's head stirred. Kyubi? Why the hell are you just waking up now? Naruto shouted in his mind. Do you have to be so loud? I'm up because it's the middle of a battle and all that's on your stomach's mind is food. Yeah, well, it's still the middle of a battle, so either help out or keep quiet. Zabuza leapt at Kakashi, blade raised while Kakashi's Sharingan helped him dodge and strike Zabuza across the chest. That's some right hook, Kakashi, Zabuza croaked out, almost winded. Sakura tightened her grip on her kunai as the two jonin began their battle. Even if you best me, you won't best Haku. Even your great Sharingan can't copy his jutsu, and you'll fall just like your brats will. Zabuza swung his leg round into a kick. Kakashi blocked, pushing him back a few feet. I've taught him everything I know. He kicked again, Kakashi jumping up as Zabuza unsheathed his sword, bringing it down overhead to slice Kakashi in two. Water hit the ground as Kakashi reappeared behind Zabuza. Just try not to get hit. He'll run out of chakra eventually, Sasuke ordered, raising his kunai with Naruto mimicking. Another volley of Saban flew towards the two as they did. They ducked, dodged, and blocked as many Saban as they could while others found unprotected points and struck hard. Naruto was running on pure instinct and reflexes. Even with his new eyes, he couldn't keep up with Haku's speed. Sasuke, however, kept catching glimpses of the masked ninja, trying to learn the attack pattern. I'm sorry, it's time to finish this. Haku's voice drifted from one of the many mirrors. Come on, Sasuke, you can do this. Concentrate now. Sasuke urged himself to move and yanked Naruto out of the flight path of several Saban. Thanks, Sasuke. I thought I was a goner there. He grinned. No problem. Sasuke turned to look at Naruto, an incomplete Sharingan whirling in his eyes. Dope. He has a Sharingan too. Naruto half asked himself, as it was obvious he did. Stand back, Naruto. I'll finish him off. Sasuke smirked as he stepped forward, back into the center of the mirrors. I don't have time to play with you anymore. My chakra is at its limit. Haku stated. As I said, it's time to finish this. She then shot up, into the topmost mirror, blocking access or exit from the sky, hurling Saban down. Sasuke was faster, he blocked many Saban, but all he could do was defend. Haku had him pinned down. My turn. Naruto shouted, forming hand signs. Keep him distracted, Sasuke. I'll get us out of here. Hidden Jutsu, Fox's Claw. A large amount of chakra gathered at Naruto's right palm before extending along the back of his hands, along his fingers and beyond. The chakra became visible as blood-red claws extending from Naruto's wrist. Naruto smirked and charged at the ice mirror leading to where Kakashi and Zabuza's battle was taking place. Kakashi and Zabuza both felt the raw power from this technique as diagonal cuts appeared in an ice mirror before each layer sliding away as Naruto burst through. No way. That's impossible. Both Haku and Zabuza thought. Sasuke, this way. Naruto called out. Haku's moment of hesitation was all Sasuke needed to escape and follow Naruto out of the opening he created. Naruto, claw still shining bright red, ran around the mirrors, giving a powerful slash to each one before they cracked and smashed on the ground. Haku was dodging but running out of places to hide. The entire bottom layer of mirrors was gone, and the top were being taken out too. Naruto smashed his 20th mirror before jumping straight up over the last one, which acted as the ceiling of the dome for the most part of their battle. This is it, Haku thought as she braced herself to be impaled through the chest with that menacing claw. The loud crunching of ice on concrete was heard as Naruto released his technique, and had punched clean through the final mirror, causing his fist to drive Haku into the ground. Panting heavily, Naruto stood up over his opponent and called out to Sasuke. Sasuke, help Kakashi-sensei. I've got this one. Sasuke complied but was cursing himself on the inside for not being able to copy that jutsu. Damn it. I missed my chance. I know my Sharingan can copy jutsu, but why couldn't I take the Dobe's most powerful? He thought as he ran over to aid Kakashi while Sakura was cheering for both her teammates. Naruto knelt down and took out some wire from his back pocket, restraining Haku's hands and feet, making note to tie the fingers up as well as the wrists. Go ahead, a soft voice came from below him. Huh, was all he replied. Finish me off, I am of no use anymore, my life's purpose is at an end, Haku told Naruto as his mask cracked completely, shattering beneath him. No, he stated, not having seen who Haku really was. You also have someone precious you want to protect. Haku gasped. Did he really know who he was all along? That day in the forest you told me that when you fight to protect someone you become truly strong. Haku shifted his body weight to turn and face Naruto, who had a hard look on his face. Me and you both fight to protect people precious to us, and I won't take you from them or let them be taken from you, he stated, his hard looks changing into kinder, smoother ones as he looked deep into his eyes. I promise. Haku blushed at this, but it quickly left as Naruto lifted him to his feet and held a kunai to Haku's neck. Zabuza, he called out. The mist ninja turned after blocking an attack from Kakashi to see Haku hostage mere inches from death. One slip of a kunai, and his life was gone. Either listen to my offer or your partner dies, Naruto shouted again. Zabuza looked fiercely at Naruto. Bloodlust was pouring from him and all was directed at Naruto. Sasuke could feel it radiating and backed off, standing just between and to the right of Zabuza and Naruto, to intercept any counterattack. Like you have the guts, kid, Zabuza shouted back. Kyuubi? Do you mind? Naruto thought. Finally, play time. The Kyuubi shrieked with happiness as its bloodlust flowed through Naruto at Zabuza. This bloodlust, I've never felt anything so pure, so evil, Zabuza thought as he withdrew his own. Speak, kid, do you want to die? Naruto asked simply. Zabuza scoffed at the ridiculous question. Of course not. That's why I have to take the bridge builder out, he yelled back. You have two options, Zabuza. 1. You lay down your weapon and we will take you into custody. Or 2. You continue to fight and not only will you die, but Haki here will die in the best case scenario for you. Even if you kill all of us, Naruto said. What do you mean, brat? Zabuza shouted confused. Even if he killed all of them, both he and Haku would die. Gato and his army of thugs are on their way here to kill you as soon as you finish your job. Head, you're bluffing. Gato wouldn't do something as stupid as that. Zabuza chuckled. Would he? Naruto asked and nodded at something behind Zabuza. Toward the end of the bridge, several hundred thugs had gathered with the greedy little businessman in front of the mob, hands resting on his cane with his left heavily bandaged. That yellow-haired brat got it right, Zabuza, you worthless ninja shit. Gato smirked. I had no intention of paying you. In fact, I was going to hand you over to the Miss Ninja. I'm sure they would have been happy to see you. As for your little friend, I'm sure the boys could have thought up a suitable punishment for him. Zabuza felt his blood boiling by itself. After today, if he lived, he would have to go on the run again if he wanted to be free. Since we are no longer enemies, I would be honored to fight by your side, Haku, to protect those precious to us. Naruto murmured in his ear, holding the kunai to the knot keeping the hand bindings in place. You would let us go free after we are finished? Haku asked, another slight blush appearing from the proximity of Naruto's lips to her ear. Yes. Naruto replied, very well. The knot in the arm and leg bindings were cut in an instant as Haku stood beside Naruto in the middle of the bridge, daring the thugs to attack them. Both Zabuza and Kakashi were both surprised at this action. Shadow Clone Jutsu. Naruto yelled out as the two-man line he and Haku had formed became a 100-man line, 99 Naruto and 1 Haku. The thugs looked a bit shaky as Gato took a step back. One condition, Haku spoke. Name it. Naruto replied. Gato's mine. Naruto. Don't do anything rash. Kakashi didn't speak fast enough. A cry of charge was heard as the Naruto army charged at the thugs. Gato retreated into the crowd and made his way back as Naruto after Naruto were hot on his heels. Zabuza looked at Kakashi as he face-palmed, muttering something about hyperactive blondes. Kakashi, the kid's got the right idea. He nodded his head towards the now small riot. You want to join in? I think I'll sit this one out. Kakashi smiled, covering his Sharingan back over. Zabuza hoisted his sword back over his shoulder, muttering, suit yourself, and rushed into the battle, jumping over several Naruto battles before taking on several thugs at once. Kakashi-sensei, will Naruto be okay? He's fighting with the enemy against all those thugs. Sakura asked, regaining her role in the battle. Knowing Naruto? Everything will go some way we won't expect. Kakashi replied. Gato had now emerged from the crowd and hit the end of the bridge. His boat was just down below. If he could just make it. Stop right there. A voice called behind him. Knowing the voice, he turned round to face the very unhappy blonde. You should know better than to piss off a woman, he said before a green and orange blur shot up from the crowd. A fierce look was plastered over Haku's face as several Saban found their way into Gato's arms, legs and feet, rendering him motionless. Haku landed in front of Naruto as a quick flash of metal passed in front of Gato's face before his head separated from his body, tumbling into the water below. Haku remained in the same finishing position for several moments before crumbling to her knees. Naruto spawned some shadow clones to keep guard as he kicked Gato's body off the edge of the bridge before sitting down beside her, taking her head onto his shoulder and holding her tight, the same way Sakura did to him not 24 hours ago. All the remaining thugs had been taken out by Naruto's last few clones and Zabuza, who got the last kill before the blondes disappeared in a puff of smoke. Zabuza looked around for Haku and saw her nestled into Naruto's chest with a large bloody stain at the edge of the bridge. First kill, he muttered before sitting down on a side of the bridge. Kakashi decided to find out what was going on between the three of them. Instead of risking his neck with an angry Zabuza, he sent a shadow clone to investigate. It made its way up to Zabuza before speaking. All right, Zabuza, you have no more employer and no more reason to fight us. Are you going to come quietly? Zabuza looked up. That's not going to happen. The voice wasn't Zabuza's cold, harsh one but one of Naruto's shadow clones. In exchange for Haku's help, I promised her that they would go free. I never go back on my word, Kakashi-sensei. Even if I have to fight you to make it happen. Both Zabuza and Kakashi's eyes widened at this piece of information. Naruto, you know the rules about missing ninja. Kakashi reprimanded before Naruto cut in again. But they aren't bad ninja. Sure, they fought against us, but that was so they could survive. Being constantly on the run from real tracker ninjas would make anyone bargain for a way out. Naruto explained. I may be the demon hidden in the mist, Kakashi, but I am not heartless. I know when something is done for the right and wrong reasons. Your student here talked some sense into me the only way I would listen before Gato showed up. Good thing he did too. Else me and Haku might be sleeping with the fishes. Fine, do as you wish, but know that sooner or later they will catch up to you, and they won't be as kind as us Konoha ninja. Kakashi said before exploding in a puff of smoke. Zabuza, Haku and Naruto just remained silent for a while as Haku let out a small sob every now and then. Geez, I didn't cry at all when I made my first kill. What are you? A woman or something, Haku? Zabuza called out in a mocking yet teasing tone. Zabuza, you know that's true. Naruto retorted for Haku. Haku's a girl, you know that. Naruto laughed back before he went deathly silent. Don't you? Haku had been very scrawny as a child after her parents' deaths from looking for food in bins and barely getting enough sustenance. When Zabuza had found her, her voice hurt so much from thirst she sounded more like a guy. Zabuza had assumed this was her normal voice and accepted the fact that she sounded a little like a girl afterward. As Haku stayed with Zabuza, she noticed he treated her like a guy. Hell, he'd even given her the male version of the birds and the bees talk. That was weird. Haku didn't want to insult Zabuza by telling him he'd been wrong all this time, so she'd taken to holding back her chest with bandages. As for the other female stuff, it wasn't worth thinking about at this point. All this suddenly dawned on Zabuza as he sat there, totally unsure of the world around him now. The awkward silence hung in the air before Naruto noticed a light snoring on his chest. Haku had fallen asleep. She seems to feel quite safe with you, boy. Zabuza chuckled, accepting the new Haku faster than Naruto thought he would. Appears so. What will you two do now? He asked, lifting Haku and laying her in Zabuza's arms. First, we're going to collect our pay for killing Gato by raiding his hideout. Then continue running, I guess, he replied, a little downhearted at the last part. Well, if you're ever near the Leaf Village, look me up. I'll gladly spar with you next time, Haku too. He smiled before taking off down the bridge as villagers began coming to clear up the mess. Zabuza looked down at Haku's sleeping form up and glanced back at Naruto. We just might take you up on that offer, kid, he muttered before jumping away as the villagers reached the unconscious and dead thugs. Time passed quickly over the next week for Team 7. Workers returned to the bridge and on Naruto's days to guard Tazuna from any more threats. His shadow clones made excellent support workers. All three genin could now run from the bottom of the tree to the top and down again without faltering. After a further week of training and guarding, the bridge was finally finished and Team 7 were leaving, their mission complete. Half the town, including Tsunami, Tazuna and Inari, had turned up to see the ninja off. Thanks to you guys, we managed to complete the bridge, Tazuna announced. I think it was the right thing to do, said Naruto as he grinned back to the crowd. It is our duty as ninja to assist those in need, Kakashi stated. Don't worry about paying us now, we'll send you a bill. I smiled. Tazuna chuckled. It's not gonna be the same around here without you guys. Promise you'll come back and visit? Inari asked. Only if you promise to keep getting stronger, you little squirt. Naruto held out his fist. Promise. Inari grinned and bumped fists with him. Kakashi looked over the group and decided they were all ready to head back. Well, we best be off. Team 7 move. Wait. People turned and parted as an old man hurried as fast as he could through the crowd, a brown package tied with string clutched in one hand. It's you, the guy from the clothes shop. Naruto was surprised. He knew the man had done as he'd asked and spent the money helping everyone who needed it. The man ran slowed down and walked up to Naruto. Here, he presented Naruto with the package. A little thank you from the people here at Wave. It's not much, but we are thankful for your assistance. Thanks, old man. Naruto smiled and put it in his pack. The old man stepped back into the crowd as Kakashi tried once again to leave the country. Team 7, let's go. Bye everyone, we'll come back soon. Sakura waved back to the people. Sasuke was as silent as ever as they crossed the finished bridge. Oh yeah, we haven't named the bridge yet. A villager thought out loud. I have the perfect name for the bridge, Tazuna began, grinned at the sight of the savior of Wave Country, the great Naruto Bridge. Two dark figures watched from afar as Team 7 made their way across the bridge. That boy has much potential, don't you think, Haku? Yes, he knows true strength and he'll only get stronger, Zabuza. Team 7 reached the end of the bridge and disappeared amongst the trees. We better be going, Haku, ladies first. Zabuza chuckled. Don't make fun, Zabuza. This lady can still take you down if you get too cocky. Haku replied, a dark look in her eye. I know. Zabuza leaped back into the forest. Haku took one last look at the end of the bridge where Team 7 disappeared. Till next time, Naruto. Naruto sneezed. Someone must be thinking of you, Naruto. Kakashi smiled. Hee. Well, I am the hero of Wave. Obviously someone is thinking of me. I wonder if she's pretty. Naruto pondered. Don't get ahead of yourself, though. We all helped. Besides, what girl would want you? Sasuke smirked. Naruto gave Sasuke a cold look. Sasuke cut it out. Naruto turned to see Sakura as the source of the scolding. All three boys looked surprised. If it wasn't for Naruto's new jutsu, you might not have made it out of those mirrors. Sasuke gaped at Sakura as though she was crazy before he returned to brooding. Thanks, Sakura, Naruto stuttered. Sakura just gave him a kind smile before they turned and walked on. Well, that was weird, Kakashi stated, following his students. It was nearly noon, and the group had just passed the battle site of their first run-in with Zabuza when they decided to take a break. So Naruto, what did that old man give you? Sakura asked, taking a bite out of one of her rice balls. Oh yeah. Naruto remembered, taking the brown package out of his pack and pulled the strings till the packaging fell away. Inside there was 5 more of his new outfits, minus the sandals, and a small envelope. Sakura took this opportunity to check Naruto's new look out, another small blush forming on her face. Naruto smiled, picked up and opened the envelope. Inside was a letter from the shopkeeper and a picture of what looked like Wave Country in its prime. He began reading the letter. Dear Naruto, once again, we can't thank you enough for the help you have given Wave. As a thanks for all your hard work, here is a small token of my gratitude. The picture was taken 2 months before Gato arrived, when Wave still had business. Hopefully, with the completion of the bridge, you will have helped Wave begin to return to its former glory. Yours, Kuromo. Naruto smiled at the letter and passed it to Sakura as he admired the picture. Still be a dobe to me whatever you wear. Sasuke muttered, finishing his own lunch and pulling his pack back on. Finish up, Naruto, we still have half a day's walk left. Kakashi's droll voice came from above them. The group packed up and begun the final stretch home. The gates appeared on the horizon as they drew closer to Konoha. Finally, home. Naruto pumped his fist in the air and ran ahead. Race you back! He called out before the dust he kicked up consumed his form. That Naruto, always full of energy. Kakashi thought as they walked on. Naruto Uzumaki, reporting back from a mission. Naruto shouted at the sleeping Chunin. Ah! Whoa! He promptly fell off his chair. You alright, man? Naruto looked over counter. A demonic aura began coming from the Chunin. Naruto! Can't you tell I was sleeping? He yelled back at Naruto. Naruto just flashed his foxy grin and rubbed the back of his head. Sorry, Kotetsu, but still, you shouldn't be sleeping on the job in the first place. What happened? I heard shouting. Another Chunin ran up to the guard hut. Hey, Izumo! I just caught Kotetsu sleeping on the job is all. Naruto grinned. I wasn't sleeping, I was resting my eyes. Kotetsu defended. Yeah, right. You admitted it a minute ago. Where's your team anyway, Naruto? Izumo asked. Oh, they're behind me. I just wanted to grab some ramen before we have to see the old man. Izumo and Kotetsu chuckled. Go ahead, Naruto, we'll tell your team where you are. Thanks, guys. With that, Naruto ran off again towards his favorite eatery. 1 bowl of miso ramen, please. A large boy called out, and 1 beef for me. A bored voice asked as they sat down at Ichiraku's, laying down a few notes. Coming right up. The cheerful Ayam responded as she and her dad began cooking. You haven't seen Naruto, have you? Tochi asked while stirring the noodles. No, he's still out on his C-rank mission. The bored boy replied, leaning on his arm. He's been gone a while, I'm starting to lose profits. Tochi chuckled. Did you really miss me that much, old man? A loud voice shouted from behind them. Naruto! Good to see you back. Tochi smiled as Naruto plopped onto a stool next to the bored Naruto boy. Hey Shikamaru, hey Choji. How've you guys been? Naruto asked, taking out his wallet. 1 miso ramen PLE. Naruto cut himself off. He'd forgotten he donated all his money to help the people of Wave. Tochi saw his empty froggy. Don't worry, Naruto, this one's on the house for the success of your first C-rank mission. Actually, it was more like a B rank, or a rank. Naruto grinned back, hoping to get more ramen out of it. Why? What happened, Naruto? Choji asked. Well, our client needed protection from an evil gangster called Gato. He'd hired a missing ninja by the name of Zabuzamomochi, who had this massive sword. Shikamaru's eyes widened at this piece of information. One of the 7 swordsmen of the mist? He asked, shocked. Yeah, he even knew that hidden misjutsu. Naruto began retelling his adventure, telling them that Zabuza escaped instead of Naruto agreeing to let them go while they ate their ramen. Just when the boys had finished. Enjoying yourself, Naruto? Another bored voice sent chills down his spine. Hey Kakashi-sensei. Man, you're really slow. Naruto chuckled as he hopped off his stool. Thanks for the ramen, old man. See you around, guys. Naruto and Kakashi began walking the path to the Hokage Tower where Sasuke and Sakura were waiting for them. It was indeed an A-rank mission, and the team had been paid accordingly. Naruto was planning on going shopping while Sasuke and Sakura just went home. Gather your energy for tomorrow, kid. You won't be able to move after your training. The rough growl of Kyubi came from the back of his head. More training? Awesome. Naruto thought as headed to the shops. What are you gonna teach me this time, Fox? Geez, does surprise mean nothing to you? Be patient, brat. Oh, come on. It's not like I won't find out later, or do you want another look in my closet? Naruto chuckled. Anything but the closet. The fox yelled. Fine, I'll teach you everything I know about weapons. First things first, get yourself something better than a kunai. Yo, Naruto. A voice snapped him out of his conversation with the fox. Okiba? What are you doing here? Naruto asked. Tenten's shop has got a sale on. You should go check it out and resupply. Tenten? Yeah, that weapons girl a year ahead of us. She owns a whole shop full of weapons. Kiba explained. Akamaru chipped in with a small yip. Sounds good, thanks Kiba. Naruto said and hurried on. Well, that was convenient. The Kyubi thought, settling back down in Naruto's mind. Small chimes rang as the door hit them when Naruto entered the shop. Good afternoon. How may I? A girl dressed in a pink top, blue pants and bund, brown hair started before seeing who her customer was. Naruto was still in his new outfit. It was not like his old jumpsuit. It hugged his body more, showing off his muscles. Hi, Tenten, isn't it? Naruto smiled, catching her eyeing him up. Yes, that's me. Were you looking for something? She asked, hiding a small blush as she checked a few kunai. Kiba told me you had a sale on. Oh yes, it's on everything you see here. She smiled, looking at some of the more precious and expensive things. Naruto decided to look around for a bit till he came to a glistening short sword. The fox growled his approval of the blade in his mind. How much is this one? Naruto asked as he admired the blade. It's 15,000 ryo. But I don't think I should let you spend that much though, Naruto. It's no problem, me and my team just got back from an A-rank mission. An A-rank? Genin shouldn't be put on a rank missions. Tenten stated. Well, it was a C rank, but we ran into Zabuza. Naruto smiled, again proud of his defeat and befriending of the missing Nin and his assistant. Zabuza Momochi? Tenten asked, clearly knowing the famous swordsman. How did you survive? He's one of the 7 swordsmen of the mist. Did you get his blade? Oh, can I see it? Tenten began playing 20 questions with Naruto as he causally brushed them off. Yeah, it looks like a huge butcher's knife with a circle cut out in the middle and half a circle cut out on the blade side. Naruto explained, the decapitating carving knife. Tenten finished. Is that what it's called? It just looked like a butcher's knife to me. Naruto chuckled. Wow, so what happened? Is he dead? Did your team get it? Tenten asked. Naruto thought for a moment. It was best to tell her the same story he told the others. That Zabuza had escaped. Damn, you got me all excited, Naruto. Tenten sulked playfully while she sheathed the sword on display and told it up on the register. You never know, either of us could run into him again. Naruto chuckled, taking his sword. One can only hope so. She replied dreamily. So that'll be 14,000 Ryo, please. I thought it was 15. Naruto asked, confused. I gave you a little discount for the information. Tenten winked. Do you even know how to wield one of those? Naruto looked like he was having a little difficulty strapping it on. I'll get the hang of it, he replied before clicking the strap into place over his right shoulder and the sword clattering to the floor. Damn it, Tenten sighed. Look, come round sometime and I'll give you some training when you decide to learn properly. You'll at least make for some good target practice for my own skills. Fine. If I have trouble, I'll come to you for help, promise. He grinned, slotting the sword back into its sheath. Naruto handed the cash over as he left the store, waving back to Tenten. Why did you tell me to get this one? Naruto thought to the fox. Short swords are best for a ninja. They are easily carried, easily hidden, and can be drawn faster than you can move. Kyubi growled to him. What about your knowledge about weapons? You're a fox, you have claws. Insolent fool. You think after years of roaming the lands I couldn't, I don't know, change my form and move among you humans? The fox yelled in anger. You can do the transformation jutsu? Naruto asked. Of course I can, unlike someone I know who has trouble with making a simple clone. Kyubi smirked. That was a low blow. Naruto thought back, mocking hurt. Humph, serves you right for underestimating me. The fox trailed off as Naruto arrived at the corner before the grocery store. Naruto put his hands together, performing the dog, boar and tiger seals and focusing his chakra. Transform. He muttered as his image became that of Irika's. Humph, seems like you finally managed to do even that in the end. The fox grunted in approval before curling up to sleep. Lazy fox. Naruto thought as he entered the shop. He emerged 20 minutes later with a few bags of shopping that would last him a week. He walked to the end of the street before ending the transformation. Shino had watched him leave the store. He considered the actions before heading home. Naruto made it back to his apartment before nightfall. He dragged his shopping upstairs, making it to his floor. He arrived at his front door only to see the words, "Leave Demon," painted over the door and wall in dark red paint. Naruto just sighed and opened the door, dropping his shopping and backpack on the sofa and putting what needed cooling away in the fridge or freezer. It was barely 8 o'clock before Naruto slumped into bed, removing his new sword. Unusually tired from the day's journey and shopping. Rise and shine, sleepyhead. The Kyubi yelled like a badly timed alarm clock. What? What is it? Why? Naruto yelled, instantly sitting upright. Time to train, Kit. Kyubi smirked in his mind. Naruto, barely opening his eyes, glanced at the alarm clock. It's 4 in the morning. Naruto complained before laying down to sleep. I don't have a snooze button. Get up now. Kyubi roared and Naruto wearily got out of bed. Fine, fine. Just give me a minute. Naruto muttered. A little revenge was in order. Doors slid open. Gah! Burn it with fire! The fox shouted out as Naruto, once again, subjected him to see the sea of orange that was Naruto's closet. Revenge for getting me up this early, fox. Now why do I have to get up this early? Naruto thought as he took care of business. Early to sleep, early to rise, and all that human mumbo-jumbo. The fox chuckled. Yeah. Naruto thought before grabbing a fresh outfit from his pack, his sword, and headed out the door. He turned to lock the door only to discover the paint was gone. Drips of water still ran down the wall where the paint was thickest. Naruto shrugged it off as someone just not wanting to get caught removing their handiwork and left the building. He arrived at Team 7's training ground half an hour later. The sun still hadn't risen yet as Naruto began his warm-up stretches near the 3 familiar training posts. Alright, fox, we're here. Now hurry up so I can go back to bed. That's no way to talk to your mentor. The fox smirked. Naruto sat down and crossed his legs and with his back resting on the middle stump as he appeared within his mindscape. Alright, kid, brace yourself. The fox warned as his knowledge of Kenjutsu flowed into Naruto's mind. Well? Are you gonna do it or what? Naruto asked as the fox looked at him confused. I have, though why aren't you on the ground clutching your head in pain the way I like to see you? Naruto scanned his memory and found he could recall all the information he had on Kenjutsu he knew wasn't there before. I dunno, maybe I'm just used to it. Naruto said, It's not like anything's changed, the fox thought as he remembered Naruto wasn't in his mindscape previously. It appears the only difference is you being here. Well, at least now I won't get any more of those headaches. Damn, why did I tell you that? The fox scolded himself. Naruto laughed as he left his mindscape. He rose, removed his jacket, and drew his blade. It was about 2 feet in length. The hand guard was steel-painted gold while the handle was a dark brown leather grip. Thinking back on a sword formation, he tried to copy the style he saw on the inside. The only problem was him failing miserably. The fox was roaring with laughter in his head as he dropped his sword yet again. I know how to do it now, but what am I doing wrong? Naruto asked as he stuck his sword in the ground. Can't you figure it out? It's the same as regular jutsu. It's a combination of body and mind energy. You have the knowledge, but your body doesn't know how to move correctly. He laughed again. Damn it, how could I not remember that? Naruto scuffed the ground in frustration. If I were you, I'd take up those lessons that sexy ninja offered to you. Pervy fox. Naruto thought angrily as he accepted that he would need help. The total morning was not a waste though. He decided that now he was up, he may as well practice his other techniques. He spent the morning training his chakra control when summoning shadow clones, trying to use the least amount possible for a large number of clones. About 100 of the clones he created were not dispelled every few seconds from lack of sustainable chakra. Those that didn't dispel, he had practiced the fox's claw jutsu until they disappeared. By lunch, Naruto could summon around 1,000 clones with little effort, and could nearly use the fox's claw in both hands at once. It took more concentration than he thought to maintain 2 hands at once. Looking up at the sun, he thought it was about time for lunch. Wiping his brow as he dispelled the clones, he put his jacket back on, over his black shirt, and making his way into town. A small white-eyed Hyuga stepped out from behind a tree, a blush featuring heavily on her face. Naruto. After stopping at Ichiraku's for lunch, Naruto made his way back to Tenten's store. The chimes rang out again as Naruto entered. Hey Naruto, come to admit you need training? Tenten joked as she spotted him. Yes, actually. Naruto replied sheepishly. I can see all the forms in my head but I can't perform them right. Done your research yet? She giggled. Come on, I'll show you where I learned how to wield a sword. She walked halfway up the stairs before gesturing him to follow. Go on kid, you know you want to. The fox chuckled as Naruto followed Tenten upstairs anyway. Give it a rest would ya? He thought back. Tenten led him into a room next to the staircase. It easily covered most of the upper floor. Inside the room were several wooden training dummies full of dents from hard training, targets propped all around in random places, and what Naruto assumed was a board breaker which had a very thick piece of iron on it. Tenten removed a scroll from her side and unsealed a short sword within. It was similar to Naruto's except it had a small pink heart in the center of the hand guard. When I'm through with you, you'll be able to do this. She smirked and brought her short sword down through the block of iron, slicing it in two. Whoa! Cool! Naruto exclaimed, excited to begin. Now to start, you'll need this. Tenten gestured, holding out a small, bamboo training stick. This is a bakken, a training sword. Why? What do I need this for? I already have a sword. Naruto asked, reaching for his own blade. With her hands on her hips, Tenten gave him a stern glare. I won't have you putting holes in my walls because you don't know how to move properly, not to mention you're going to fall plenty while we get your stances and movement correct. Watch. Tenten quickly grabbed a duplicate training blade before gracefully weaving through some movements and stances before ending with a strong strike at the air. Try that. She challenged, gesturing toward the open floor to Naruto. It only took him a few steps before his heel painfully connected with his ankle and Naruto tumbled to the floor off balance. With the patience of one who'd been through the same experience before, Tenten reached down and helped her new apprentice to his feet. Trust Tenten-sensei yet? She smiled. I've done this before and thought I knew it all too. Hard work and repetition is the only way your body will catch up to your mind. She finished, tapping Naruto on the head. Okay Tenten-sensei, I get it. Naruto smirked, properly put in his place but still eager to learn what she could teach. Great. Now, the first stance I want you to learn is. Naruto had spent the remaining portion of the day practicing his footwork and positioning upstairs while Tenten flitted between the shop and her protege. Getting a workout whilst working was exhausting. Night began to fall as Tenten closed up shop while Naruto looked like he could collapse down the stairs. Tenten giggled at Naruto's expression as he slowly wandered his way to the door, his legs feeling like jelly. Thanks again for the training Tenten-sensei. When should I come round next? Naruto asked politely as he opened the door. Well, it's not long till the Chunin exam so I'm going to be pretty busy. Tenten started as Naruto looked a little crestfallen. But I'm sure I can make some time for you. She replied sweetly. Naruto flashed her his best foxy grin. So tomorrow? He asked, hopefully. Sure, just don't expect me to be up early. Tenten said and gave him a little push on his chest, shifting him out onto the street. You go get some rest too. Before locking the door and turning the open sign to closed, Naruto walked home with a spring in his step that night, eager to continue his kenjutsu lessons. Elsewhere, red eyes pierced the darkness as the Uchiha continued his taijutsu training, banging sounds heard every second. I must get stronger. I must get stronger. Echoed in a loop in his mind. The hoot of a nearby owl was heard as the moon rose, and Sasuke's grunts only increased as his hands became bloodier. He finally collapsed, out of breath and out of energy, wrapped around what remained of a splintered log and falling asleep. Dreams of a young Uchiha and Uzumaki plagued Sakura's mind as she dreamt the night away, mumbles of their names emerging from her mouth every now and then. Time passed quickly for the genin in Konoha. Naruto worked hard to physically train his sword skills. Sasuke kept his training secret for the most part, while Sakura realized she was now the dead last in the group and decided to do something about it. About 2 weeks later, and Team 7 had finished another boring D-rank mission. How come we still have to do these stupid missions, Kakashi-sensei? Naruto seethed. Kakashi just sighed, looking up from his ever-present Ika paradise. That C-turned a rank was an exception. You still don't have the teamwork or rank required to go out on C-rank mission. Come on, Kakashi-sensei, we've all trained really hard. I know we can do better. Naruto pleaded as both Sakura and Sasuke agreed with him, if only in their minds. A hawk flew overhead, squawking, and Kakashi glanced at it. Well, I've got to go give my mission report, he said quickly before disappearing in a puff of smoke. A small box-shaped rock shuffled its way closer to the group. Ah man. Kakashi-sensei never gives us a challenge. Naruto complained and sat down on the box, smirking. Sasuke just scoffed and began to walk away. Where are you going, Sasuke? Sakura turned to him as he muttered back. Training. Sakura just gave his back a sympathetic look before she groaned, missing out on more time with Sasuke due to his secret training. However hard she looked, she could never find him. A loud thump was heard as she turned to see an overturned, badly painted rock. Naruto sitting up rubbing his backside and 3 academy students, each with the same green goggles Naruto used to wear on their foreheads. Naruto just grinned at them. Konohamaru led the group with his long blue scarf flowing behind him as usual. Udan, the other boy, wearing glasses and had a bored expression on his face, while Moegi, the only girl of the trio, had her bright orange hair up in twin ponytails, giving Naruto a look of admiration. So you found us, boss? Konohamaru called out, pointing a finger at Naruto. He just chuckled. You weren't hard to spot. Come on, Naruto, you said you'd show us your awesome new sword moves today. Moegi spoke up, glancing from Naruto to his sword and back again. Naruto actually knows how to use that thing? Sakura thought. Oh yeah. I didn't I? Naruto recalled. Go on, I'll meet you at Team 7's training ground. The 3 academy students ran ahead around the fence while Naruto turned to face Sakura. You want to come too, Sakura? He asked politely. Sakura did want to see how good Naruto was, but she also wanted to go find Sasuke. A cry pierced the air coming from the direction the Konohamaru Corps ran. Ninja instincts kicking in, both Naruto and Sakura hurried to investigate. They found Konohamaru held by the scarf a few feet in the air by a black-clothed ninja with a wrapped, person-shaped object on his back in purple face paint. A girl with a large black fan on her back stood next to him, her blonde hair in 4 ponytails, lavender top and shorts tied with a red sash and mesh underneath. Hey! Let him go! Naruto shouted, running up to a scared Udan and Moegi. Drop him, Kankuro, he's just a kid. The blonde scolded as the boy named Kankuro just chuckled. Don't worry, Temari. I'm only gonna pay this brat back for running into me. He raised a fist to punch Konohamaru. Naruto quickly formed a single shadow clone. Kankuro's fist shot forward, smashing the blonde boy in the face before he disappeared in a puff of smoke. Both Kankuro and Temari stared in confusion as Naruto held a shocked Konohamaru. Don't ever lay a finger on him again, or you'll regret it. Naruto whispered rather darkly, loud enough for everyone to hear. Sakura was awestruck. She felt her old fangirl instincts itch to kick in. Temari just flashed Naruto a small smile. Kid's got talent, she thought. The boy dressed in black just smirked at Naruto before sensing some killer intent heading his way. Stop it, Kankuro. You're an embarrassment to our village. Came a monotonous yet dark voice from a nearby tree. A small red-haired boy no older than Naruto hung underneath a branch on the tree. You're pathetic, being tricked by a leaf genin. Listen, Gaara, they started it, and Kankuro began explaining hurriedly before the one named Gaara cut him off. Shut up or I'll kill you, Gaara muttered, letting a little more killer intent leak out. I barely saw him move myself. This one may prove fun to kill, Gaara thought as he disappeared in a flurry of sand, reappearing in front of his 2 teammates. Let's go, he muttered to the other 2 before turning to walk away. Wait, Naruto called out as the redhead turned. What's your name, kid? Gaara of the desert. Yours? Naruto Uzumaki, future Hokage of Konoha, Naruto declared proudly. Temari chuckled at this and Kankuro just scoffed. Nice to know, Gaara replied before turning again. What are they even doing here? Sakura whispered to Naruto as he glared at the trio walking away. Tenten told me the Chunin exams are coming up. They must be here for those, Naruto replied as the trio rounded the corner, out of sight. Chunin exams? You think Kakashi will let us enter them? Sakura asked. Sakura, the Chunin exams require strong skills and teamwork to make it through even one of the stages, Naruto began ominously. Of course he'll let us enter. We're awesome, he finished with a wide grin on his face. Boss? You can let me down now, Konohamaru squeaked. Naruto looked down to see he was still holding the young boy in his arms. Ah! Naruto jumped and dropped Konohamaru on the floor, landing on his butt. Don't scare me like that. Naruto and the group shrugged off the meeting with the Sand Trio and spent the afternoon in Team 7's training field. Naruto demonstrated his sword skills before he played ninja with the young trio. Sakura sat on a rock and laughed as she watched her friend run around through the trees. She even joined in towards the end. Soon it was time for the kids to go home as Naruto and Sakura decided to head back too. Enjoy yourself, Sakura? Naruto asked as they walked back through town. It was surprisingly fun, Naruto, thanks. She smiled before running up to her front door. I'll see you tomorrow, she called back as the door clicked shut. Naruto smiled to himself as he walked back down the street towards his home. He felt a familiar chakra signature on the roof of a building. Utilizing his speed and tree climbing abilities, Naruto rushed up the side of the building to see Kakashi, leaning back against the door leading into the building. Kakashi-sensei? What are you doing up here? Were you following us? Naruto asked a serious-looking Kakashi before noticing his lack of orange book. Your skills have vastly improved since you were in the academy, Naruto. Kakashi spoke, reaching into his pouch and pulling out a slip of paper. Naruto looked confused before taking it, reading the contents over in his head. This application form will allow you to take the Chunin exams. I believe you are ready. Naruto stared at the paper, not really believing it to be true. What about Sasuke and Sakura? He asked. Doesn't the whole team have to take part? I have already given Sasuke and Sakura little tests of their own and they proved worthy of entering. If you all accept, be at the academy, room 301 tomorrow afternoon by 4 or else you can't take part. Kakashi told him before disappearing in a puff of smoke. Naruto just looked at the sheet again before letting out a loud cheer of joy. Keep it down out there. A voice called out from somewhere as more jeers joined the first. Not wanting to get caught, Naruto quickly hurried back to his apartment and entered via the window. Seems you're getting more powerful by the day, Kit. The fox stirred. Even your sensei thinks so. You said it, Fox. I'm gonna be one step closer to becoming Hokage, believe it? Naruto thought as he rushed around his apartment, getting everything ready for tomorrow. A leaf ninja with round glasses and silver hair stepped out from the shadows after overhearing Kakashi and Naruto's little conversation. These exams are going to be interesting, he hissed before disappearing back into the shadows. 4 o'clock couldn't come fast enough for Naruto. His morning routine consisted of sleeping, ramen and some last-minute, light training before heading to meet his team at the academy. The yard was full of teams warming up or checking over their equipment. Hey! Sakura, Sasuke! Naruto called out. They both turned to see Naruto walking towards them, his trademark grin plastered on his face. Humph, I see you decided not to bathe yourself in orange today, dope. Sasuke's dreary voice breezed by as Naruto walked past them. Sakura and Sasuke gave him a confused look before he turned back to them. You coming or what? I can't wait to get started. Sakura just giggled and Sasuke sighed as they followed him into the building. Inside they found a small crowd gathered around the door to the exam room. What's going on? Naruto asked himself. We're not going to know, are we? Sakura scolded lightly. Sasuke didn't want to wait and pushed himself to the front of the crowd. Naruto and Sakura just looked at each other before following after him. 2 leaf genin were standing in front of room 301, preventing anyone from entering, including a green-suited genin. Pathetic, if you can't get past us, what makes you think you're cut out for this exam? The genin with the 3 bandages on his face smirked. Yeah, we're doing you a favor keeping you out of here. The one with the mask similar to Kakashi laughed. Just let us through, we have as much right to do this as you do. A feminine voice called out. Naruto looked around and spotted Tenten helping her green and orange-clad teammate to his feet. The fashion reject wore a dark green jumpsuit and orange legwarmers, a similar color to Naruto's old outfit. Tenten tried to walk between the bullies but received a fast smack to the face from the bandaged one. Naruto's anger flared at this as his eyes changed. Suddenly, the genin that struck was doubled over in pain. Naruto had planted his fist deep into his gut. Don't ever touch my friend again, he muttered darkly. Everyone was stunned at the speed and power Naruto had put into that punch. Naruto turned, his eyes back to normal before helping Tenten to her feet and leaving the crowd. Sasuke was giving Naruto a hard glare. He'd never seen him move so fast. Naruto helped Tenten to a bench before setting her down. You okay, Tenten? He asked as his team and the green-suited leaf ninja from before made their way over. Yeah, I'm fine thanks, Naruto, she replied, blushing lightly. Sakura gave Tenten a slightly jealous frown. Tenten, what that fellow ninja did was most unyouthful. The orange and green fashion disaster yelled, giving his teammate a sympathetic look. Calm down, Lee, Tenten whispered harshly. Niji told us not to draw attention to ourselves. You've already ruined that plan. A cold voice came from behind Lee. They turned to see Niji with a stern look on his face, his light gray eyes frowning in anger. Sorry, Niji, Tenten muttered, looking down at the floor as Lee remained silent. Niji's gaze drifted to Naruto. You seem to cause quite a stir yourself. What's your name? He asked. Naruto met Niji's piercing gaze and replied. Uzumaki, Naruto. You're this Niji Hyuga that Tenten's told me so much about. Correct. Tenten, Lee, we're going. Niji ordered as he walked away towards the stairs. Tenten, Sakura and Lee looked confused. Niji, where are you going? Isn't the exam room? Tenten began. Actually, you should take a closer look, Naruto whispered in her ear. Tenten glanced at the number above the door the 2 genin were still guarding. It read 301, but something wasn't right with it. Genjutsu. Naruto whispered again, loud enough for only the four around him to hear. It's probably to weed out the weaker ninja. It's lucky you have a Hyuga on your team though. Sasuke scowled. He was going to show the bullies up by revealing their plot. He never thought to eliminate the competition at this stage. I see it. Sakura realized as she saw through the genjutsu. This is only the second floor. Yeah, the more competition we get rid of now, the less we have later. Sasuke smirked, keeping his confident attitude present. What are we waiting for then? To the exam. Lee cheered just quiet enough to keep attention off them as they headed upstairs. Sasuke led the group as Naruto walked with Tenten and Lee walked next to Sakura. You look beautiful today, Sakura. Lee smiled, his teeth giving a strong white ping. Thanks. Sakura gave him a weird look. He has some of the biggest eyebrows I've ever seen. What a free Sakura's train of thought left her as Inner came out to play. You disgust me. Inner yelled at Sakura. What? It's true. She thought back. Naruto wore a bright orange jumpsuit and runs around shouting how he's going to be Hokage. You still like him though. Inner yelled again, but Sakura began thinking back. No buts. Give this guy a chance, you barely know him. Inner shouted before receding back into Sakura's mind. Sakura felt bad about judging Lee like she had Naruto before and just quietly continued with the group, listening to Naruto and Tenten who were chatting merrily about weapons and techniques they knew and shared. The group made it to the real room 301 and entered. Sasuke pushed both the doors open to reveal very fierce-looking genin from all different nations talking. Whoa, big turnout. Naruto muttered, glancing around the room. He saw at least 100 people in the room, maybe more, all from different hidden villages. Naruto was trying to identify each of the headbands when, Sasuke! I haven't seen you in ages. A certain blonde's voice shrieked as she jumped onto Sasuke and stuck there. Sakura turned to see an excited Ino clutching onto her teammate. Ino met Sakura's gaze. Jealous forehead? She asked, trying to provoke a response out of Sakura. Sakura just looked at Ino and shrugged. Just wait for it, she muttered. Wait for what? Get off me! Sasuke shouted, rolling his shoulders back, knocking Ino onto the floor. Sakura giggled to herself. Oof, Sasuke, what was that for? I was only saying hi. Ino defended while a hand offered itself to her. Get up, or we'll look bad in front of the other villages. Came Shikamaru's bored voice. Ino took his hand and pulled herself up off the wooden floor as Choji trailed in behind Shikamaru, his ever-present bags of chips in his arms. Hey Naruto, good to see you. Choji called out as he spotted him. Ino looked to where Choji was facing and saw Naruto's new look for the first time. That's Naruto? She gasped. Wow, Shikamaru was right. You really have changed, Naruto. Hee, thanks Ino. Naruto smiled. Ino started eyeing the new Naruto up and down before another voice joined the conversation. Yahoo found you. Kiba shouted. Akamaru perched on top of his hood, walking over to the gang. Looks like everyone made it for the Chunin exams. Hello everyone, Hinata's voice said shyly, almost hidden behind Kiba with Shino on the other side. Kiba, Shino, Hinata. You guys are here too? Naruto smirked as things got a little more interesting. Hinata blushed as he noticed her, as Shino just gave Naruto his usual nod. Yep, our sensei trained us so hard, bet we could beat all of you. Kiba yelled proudly, with Akamaru agreeing with a little bark. I'd like to see you try dog breath. Naruto yelled back as the two tried to stare each other down. What did I say about drawing attention to yourselves? Niji's voice rang out behind everyone as Hinata cringed. Everyone is looking at us now. So what? They should get a good look at the guy that's going to beat them. Naruto smirked as several mutters, whispers and laughs were heard throughout the room. What idiots. Sasuke muttered himself as he stuck his hands in his pockets. You're so funny, Naruto, Hinata whispered, poking her fingers together. Naruto's ears picked up on Hinata's words. He smiled to himself. You guys should really keep it down. A sly voice called out. The Konoha 12 turned to see a leaf ninja a few years older than them with short gray hair and a small ponytail and circular glasses walk up to them. You're really drawing attention to yourself. Any more noise and people might just snap. Naruto and company glanced around and saw over 200 eyes glaring at them. I'd watch out for the mist ninja near you, they aren't known for their patience. The boy smirked. Then again, you remind me of how I was when I was your age. Who are you? Sasuke spoke up, eyeing the boy oddly. Isn't it customary to give your own name first? No matter, I am Kabuto Yakushi. I, of course, know who all of you are. Kabuto smirked again, glancing at each of the genin. Naruto felt a cold shiver down his back. I don't like this when the fox stirred within Naruto's mind. Huh? Why not? He seems okay, I guess in that creepy way. Naruto thought back. Just be careful what you do around him, something isn't right. The fox warned as it stretched in his cage. Naruto mentally nodded as Kabuto pulled out a deck of cards. I think I'll help you guys out. Give you a bit of an edge, one might say. Sasuke's eyes widened at this and walked over along with the others. I made them myself, Kabuto smiled, holding up a blank card. Only my chakra can reveal the secrets they hold. Kabuto twirled the card on the ground and pushed his chakra into it. Instantly, information on the Chunin exams appeared in the form of a map of the world with bars for the amount of applicants from that region. Seems there are 153 people taking part in this year's exams. Shikamaru said with his customary drawl as soon as the information map appeared. Correct. Kabuto said, most of those are from here in Konoha. What about people? Do you have any information on the genin here? Sasuke asked. Of course. Why? Is there someone you wish to check out? Kabuto asked. Naruto Uzumaki. Sasuke stated, much to the surprise of the people around him. Naruto was especially confused as well as proud. He made Sasuke realize he was every bit as good as he was. Your own teammate? Very well. Kabuto obeyed, picking out a card with a flick of his wrist and pushing some chakra into it. Naruto Uzumaki, same age as you, 9 D-rank missions and 1 A-rank? Kabuto began as the group's eyes then turned on Team 7. Sensei is Kakashi Hatake, Sakura Haruno and yourself are his teammates. It seems he has gained some expertise in Kenjutsu as well as an increase in ninjutsu and taijutsu. Naruto just smirked at the praise as the other guys in the group saw Naruto in a new light. You really know Kenjutsu? Kiba asked, followed with another short yip from Akamaru. Yeah, Tenten taught me everything I know, I owe her a lot. Naruto grinned as Tenten blushed a little. Another note here says you defeated one Zabuza Momochi? Kabuto said, stunned himself. It wasn't just me, Sasuke and Kakashi-sensei helped out a lot too. Sakura felt a little dejected. Even though the truth hurt, she had done nothing but stand in front of Kazuna the entire mission. That's one of the 7 swordsmen of the mist. Shino stated bluntly. What happened to him? Sakura and Sasuke opened their mouths to tell them before Naruto quickly cut in. He escaped. With the help of this hunter ninja who was good with Saban. A hunter ninja? Ino questioned. Well, she wasn't really a hunter ninja, she was a fake. Naruto's sweat dropped, putting his arm behind his head. Ninja were beginning to listen into the conversation. Zabuza? He was quite famous, wasn't he? Yeah, he tried to assassinate the Mizukage. Wow, and this little brat beat him. A monotone voice spoke within the crowd. He really will be fun to kill. Gaara spoke as his brother looked taken aback. This guy just gets more interesting by the second. Temari smiled in the blonde's direction. The only 3 sound ninja in the room glanced up at this bit of information. The female with the weird scarf muttered to the other 2. Should we report this? No, leave it be for now, we'll test their real strength soon. The one with fur on his back and bandages covering all but his left eye muttered. A few moments and mutterings later as everyone was itching to begin, a large plume of smoke erupted at the front of the class. Alright you worthless genin, eyes forward and shut the hell up. A gruff voice shouted from the smoke. Many of the genin jumped as others yelled in surprise. A massive man in a long black cloak and leaf bandana covering his head appeared along with at least 30 scary-looking chunin behind him. The man in the black coat had several scars along his face and had a look that screamed, "Mess with me and I break you." Alright everyone, my name is Ibiki Marino. I am your first examiner. He smirked, while the chunin began to seat themselves around the edge of the room. I hope you all have friends in other nations. Everyone line up and take a number. Your number will coordinate with your seating arrangement. I won't tolerate any babies who don't want to sit next to a stranger. Slowly people walked to the front and received their numbers. Naruto walked up to the chunin handing the numbers out and got his. 35. Just great, he thought sarcastically, that would put him near the front. Several murmurs filled the room as people sat down in their places. Naruto glanced around as he saw his friends take their places. Sakura was near the middle, Sasuke toward the back. One of the Konoha 12 managed to snag a seat next to him. Lee sat down in place number 36. Greetings Naruto. I must thank you again for defending my teammate. Lee gave him the shiny teeth thumbs up. You are no problem, Lee. So what do you think this test will be? Naruto nervously smiled back. I do not know, but I am sure our flames of youth will be able to conquer any challenge they throw at us. Now Lee was just too embarrassing. This is a written exam and you will be given 1 hour to complete it. Ibiki called out to the room. Naruto's eyes widened significantly at this information. He put his head in his hands as Lee gave him a sympathetic look. He had not known Naruto long but had heard of his pranks and endeavors. Any mistake he made spread like wildfire through the town. Naruto failing the exam time after time was one such example. Ibiki explained the rules to everyone while the fox spoke up. You do have one advantage in this test. What would that be, furball? Naruto thought. Me and my knowledge brat. The fox snarled at Naruto's rudeness. The third rule is that if anyone is caught cheating, they will lose 2 points from the initial 10. Anyone who gets caught 5 times or doesn't answer enough questions correctly will fail with their 2 teammates. Ibiki finished darkly. Naruto could almost feel 2 specific pairs of eyes burning a hole in the back of his head. You have 1 hour, begin. Ibiki called out as the final paper was delivered to testee number 158 and pencils began furiously scribbling. Naruto looked down at his paper. There was no way he could answer any of these questions. You are 100 miles from your destination and the sun is exactly 90 degrees high from your position. You spend 3 hours traveling west at 10 meters a step every 6 seconds. What angle from 90 degrees is the sun now at and how far are you from your destination? What the hell? How can anyone answer this? Naruto thought loudly in his head. Fox. Yeah, can you help me with this? Naruto got no response. There was no snarling face at the cage door anymore, just the outline of a great beast hidden in the dark corner of the cage. Some help you are. Naruto thought angrily as he stared blankly at his test. All over the room, People had already picked up on the idea of the test and had begun using their techniques to cheat. Akamaru was barking quietly on Kiba's head, Niji's Byakugan was blazing as well as Sasuke's Sharingan. Naruto clutched his head in confusion as he racked his brain, trying to figure out a single answer. He looked over at Lee for help. Lee glanced up at the ceiling and tightened his headband. Naruto glanced up, trying to be as sneaky as he could, and caught a glimpse of several mirrors attached to the ceiling with several wires controlling their movements. Naruto looked behind him and saw the wires being held by Tenten. Eureka! So that was it. He had to cheat and not get caught. New ideas flew through Naruto's mind as he tried to devise a way to cheat with his skills. A brilliant idea suddenly hit him. He quickly scanned his test paper and memorized the questions from easiest to hardest, he thought. Excuse me. Naruto's hand shot up. One of the Chunin examiners walked over to him. It was Kotetsu. What is it, Naruto? He whispered. I have to go to the bathroom. Naruto mumbled. Can't you hold it? Kotetsu replied, clearly annoyed. No, I forgot to go before the exam and I'm bursting. He began fidgeting in his seat, trying to be convincing. Kotetsu sighed and took out a pair of handcuffs. Naruto nudged past people and put them on at the end of the row as Kotetsu led him out of the room with disapproving eyes glaring at him from several ninja. Kotetsu and Naruto wandered down the hall and made it to the bathroom, where Naruto was given a little privacy to do business, courtesy of a small wall separating the urinals and the entrance. When Naruto was sure his Chunin guide couldn't see him, he performed his favorite hand sign. Another Naruto popped into existence, pressed tightly against the wall as the tiny amount of smoke cleared, a byproduct of his better chakra control. Naruto impressed himself, looking the clone over until he realized the clone had the same handcuffs as he did on. Damn it, he cursed. Hurry up, would ya? You don't want to miss any more time, do you? Kotetsu asked as Naruto zipped up his pants and walked around the side. Finished. He smirked, flashing his foxy grin to act as Naruto as possible. Yeah, just get going, will ya? Kotetsu sighed, leading Naruto back out of the door and back to the examination room. A second Naruto waited 5 minutes before checking the coast was clear, before hurrying down the other way, through an open window and into the city. Naruto had 30 minutes left before the test was over and began thinking about the 10th question. He'd glanced at it but figured that they would explain it when there was only 15 minutes left like the scary guy said he would, so he didn't worry about that. I wonder if they'll ask us to demonstrate jutsu or something. Like we did in the school exam. Naruto pondered while the fox still gave no reply, deciding to hide for now until Naruto forgot about his uselessness in this exam. The next 10 minutes passed slowly as several teams left after their cheating efforts being spotted when Naruto sat up straight. The memories of his clone came flowing back to him. Naruto began scribbling as he recalled all the information the clone had looked up in a copy of Advanced Equations and Calculations in the library. He also remembered from his clone that sneaking around and reading were much harder with handcuffs. It was also a bit odd that he'd found such a useful book in the Jonin section. That big idiot from the Sand Trio probably copied him, asking to go to the bathroom as well and returning soon after. A soft buzzing was heard over Naruto's shoulder as an insect passed him by, probably one of Shino's. Naruto thought, okay, time for the last question. Ibiki announced, there are a few more rules to this question, so listen up. The door slid open as Kankuro returned from the bathroom. How nice of you to join us, you have fun playing dolls. Ibiki smirked as Kankuro winced, fearing his discovery and expulsion from the test. Just sit down. Ibiki turned back to the room. As I was saying, there will be some special rules for this question. First, you can choose whether or not to take this question. Several people looked confused. Choose? What happens if we choose not to take it? Temari called out, rising to her feet. You will fail, along with your teammates. Ibiki smirked. Of course we'll take it then. What fool wouldn't? A waterfall ninja called out. You haven't heard the other rule yet. Ibiki chuckled darkly, making some genin back down. Answer the 10th question incorrectly, and you will lose the right to ever take the Chunin exams again. That can't be right. Kiba yelled. There are people who have taken the exam before. Ibiki just chuckled. They were lucky. They didn't have me as an examiner before. Fortunately, I'm a nice guy and I'll offer those you who don't want to take the question a chance to leave now and try again next year. Several hands were raised as numbers 67, 48, and 113 left almost immediately with their teammates. People began to lose confidence as several more joined the fleeing few. Naruto was shaking. Sakura glanced over to her teammate. Per Naruto, first a written test, then the possibility to lose his shot at Hokage, she thought as she saw Naruto's arms clasp his sides, still shaking. An echoing laughter erupted in the room. Its source was the shaking blonde genin. Ha! Wow, some people really can't cut it. Naruto laughed, almost falling from his seat, clutching his sides as they threatened to slip. Ibiki looked unimpressed. Humph, you think you got what it takes, you little brat? You got it. You're looking at the future Hokage. Naruto yelled, I never back down, even if I have to risk it all. The room went deadly silent as Naruto finished his little speech. People were inspired by his courage, and those that looked nervous before had regained their confidence. Hey, well done, kid. Ibiki thought. You sure? You'll never become Hokage if you make one small error. Trying to play Naruto for a fool, Naruto just sat back in his chair and folded his arms in defiance. Ibiki glanced around the room. 66 genin left, a little less than last time. Ibiki smirked. Congratulations, you all passed the first test. Several genin were confused while the news hit others fast as they cheered, fists raised into the air in success. Sakura was one of the confused people. What about the 10th question? She called out. I guess you could say that was the 10th question. To choose to take it or not. Ibiki smiled back, a warm smile unlike his previous scary-faced ones. What were the first 9 questions for then? Temari shouted, outraged at being deceived. Couldn't you tell? They were to test your information-gathering ability. Getting caught gathering information simulates getting caught on a mission. If you're careless or discovered, you're a goner. Ibiki said smugly. These questions were too hard for a genin, maybe even for some chunin, which is why you had to come to the conclusion that cheating had to be the answer. Several leaf ninja rose from their spots and walked to the edges of the room. We planted several chunin who knew the answers to the questions to give you a fighting chance. When you go out on a mission you know next to nothing about, your first objective is to gather more information. More information means a bigger chance of success for the mission. Ibiki started, taking off his bandana. Fail, and you might end up wishing you were dead. Several screw holes, burn marks and scars decorated Ibiki's head as he showed his dome to the class. Information must also be accurate. If it isn't, it could cost you or your teammates their lives. He finished, returning his bandana to its former position. You have all passed the first part of the Chunin exam. Good luck in the next part. Ibiki began before the window on the left smashed to pieces as a black ball of something whizzed through the air in front of him. 2 kunai shot out towards the ceiling as the ball unwrapped and a purple, pineapple-haired woman stood in front of the now unwrapped banner reading, Second Test Proctor, Enko Mitarashi, jumped the gun as usual. Ibiki thought behind the banner. All right boys and girls, I'll be your next proctor, Enko Mitarashi. Yeah. The woman called out, raising a hand in the air and pointing to the ceiling. Everyone gave her a stunned look while Naruto looked at the spot she was pointing to. You're early again. Ibiki muttered to her, peeking out from behind the curtain as Enko laughed nervously in embarrassment. 22 teams? Not bad Biki, but I can more than half that amount with my test. The mesh-clad Jonin announced, giving some nervous looks on their faces. Naruto took this time to examine the nutcase. She wore a long brown overcoat with a mesh shirt and tights underneath, topping it off with her orange skirt and armor-plated sandals. This is gonna be fun, she muttered with a sly smirk. Meet me in the morning, I'll let your sensei know where to find me. Dismissed. Some genin hurried away from the room as fast as they could while others slowly made their way out. Naruto caught up with his teammates in the hall. Sasuke, Sakura. How did you guys do? He asked. We made it through, didn't we Dobe, can't you guess? Sasuke replied sarcastically. Naruto glared at Sasuke. I meant how did you cheat? How do you think? Sasuke smirked, his Sharingan flashing up before receding back. I managed to complete the whole thing without cheating. Sakura smiled proudly. Whoa, I never knew you were that smart, Sakura. Naruto replied, amazed. What about you, Naruto? She asked him politely as the trio made it out into the fresh air once again. When I went to the bathroom I had a shadow clone hide then sneak out and into the library. He grinned, resting his arms behind his head. Sakura looked confused. Sasuke took this opportunity to sneak away from the Dobe and the fangirl to work on more important things. How does that work? She asked. Well, when a shadow clone dies I get all of its memories. Naruto smiled, proud at his achievement. Really? No wonder you managed to pick Kenjutsu so fast. Actually, that was all me. Tenten-sensei forbid me from using shadow clones. She can be a harsh teacher at times. He laughed as the two wound up at Ichiraku. You want to get some ramen, Sakura? Naruto asked nervously, showing his biggest grin yet. Why not, but you're paying. Sakura giggled as the two entered the eatery. Pounds and grunts were heard as Bakken met training dummy. It was past 11 and the sweat shone of Naruto's brow as he swung the wooden sword at the dummy again. He was in Team 7's training field, destroying one of the training dummies Tenten had lent him to practice on. Just a few more hits. Come on, Naruto, he muttered between swings. He continuously circled the dummy whilst laying blow upon blow on the poor wooden thing, changing direction unpredictably. He finally tired himself out and put his all into the last swing. Splinters went everywhere as the dummy's head broke off and rolled along the floor as Naruto collapsed against what was left of it, panting heavily. A dark figure had been watching Naruto for some time now, examining him from the trees, picking up any information he could on his subject. Naruto grabbed his bottle of water and downed the last of it in one big gulp, predictably getting most of it on his top. The figure watched for a few more moments as Naruto slowly made his way to his feet again. Gathering up his gear, Naruto began heading back when he turned suddenly and looked directly at the figure in the trees, his red eyes glaring at them. Barely a few seconds passed before the figure disappeared as a small amount of sand drifted through the branches into the air. Just try it, Naruto muttered to himself, and whomever might be listening in. Safe to say he didn't sense the figure at all on his way home. Silence greeted the genin as they stood around the chain-linked fence, staring into the darkest forest they'd ever seen. A black figure descended from a tree just inside the compound. Enko landed and stood proudly in front of them. Glad you could all make it. Welcome to hell, my test, the forest of death. You'll be lucky if you make it out of here alive, let alone intact. She smirked. The teams that passed the first test gazed at the looming forest. They could barely see past the few giant, dark trees. A grass ninja chuckled lightly before looking up at the forest with his slitted eyes. All right, people, line up and grab one of these. Enko called out, holding up a small stack of papers. Naruto looked annoyed. More paperwork. I thought we'd finished all that with the guy in the coat. Naruto yelled, annoyed at the sight of paper again. These aren't tests, idiot. You need to sign these to participate in this test. Enko replied with an annoyed tone. Why? We already gave in our consent forms. Ino's voice called out from the crowd. Enko giggled darkly. This is called the Forest of Death for a reason. People die in this test. Her eyes narrowed. If you don't sign these consent forms, I have responsibility of you. She ended with a Naruto-like smile, carefree. Some genin shivered as she began passing out the papers. This is the ultimate survival test, Enko declared. In the center of this arena is your destination. Seems easy enough, Sakura thought. To enter the tower and pass, however, you need 2 scrolls, heaven and earth. Enko smirked. When you start this test, half of you will get the heaven and the other half, earth. How you get the other is up to you. That will at least half the amount of people, Sakura thought. You have a total of 5 days to find and take another team's scroll, Enko began. 5 days? What about dinner? Choji called out. He couldn't live without food, well, more so than others. This forest is full of food. You have your pick of bugs, fruit, and if you're lucky, fish. Just make sure you don't eat any of the poisonous things. Choji was horror-struck. Now, as for what you'll be disqualified for: 1. Not making it to the tower with both scrolls. 2. Losing a teammate either by separation or death if you make it to the tower. 3. No one can quit in the middle. You are here for 5 days. If you can't survive that long, you'll die. The final rule is that no matter what, you must not look inside the scrolls. Enko finished. Why? What would happen? Naruto asked. Those unlucky few will find out for themselves. Chunin are expected to deliver secret messages. This is to test how trustworthy you are, Enko replied. Now hand your signed forms in at the desk and we'll begin. Slowly, genin began to turn their forms in after signing them. They entered a small hut with a curtain for a wall with wood on the other 3 sides. That's so we can't tell who gets what or who's carrying it, Naruto thought as he instantly signed his forms. He turned to see Sakura and Sasuke struggling with the decision. What's wrong? I thought you were ready for this, Naruto teased. I am Dobe, I'm just trying to find the weakest teams, he replied, covering his own hesitance. Naruto smiled. Sasuke was scared and he wasn't. That felt good. What about you, Sakura? Naruto asked. The pink-haired ninja just kept staring at her sheets. Hey, Sakura, are you okay? Naruto asked again, shaking her shoulder slightly. As soon as he touched her, she jumped back, kunai raised. Whoa, Sakura, what's up? Naruto had never seen her this on edge. Sakura looked Naruto in his eyes and calmed down, reholstering her kunai. Sorry, Naruto, I was just thinking, she replied quietly, looking down at the ground. You trying to think if we'll survive or not? Sasuke asked from his spot on the ground. Yeah. She spoke softly again. A loud voice snapped her out of it. Don't worry, Sakura. You have me on your team, there's no way we can lose. Naruto grinned before glancing at Sasuke. He might be of some use too, I guess. To say Sasuke was irked was an understatement. I'm stronger than you now, Dobe. I could finish this test all by myself, he shot back. Oh yeah? Naruto replied. Yeah. Sasuke smirked himself. Good, you really might be of some use then. Naruto smiled cheekily, putting his hands behind his head again as Sasuke furiously signed his forms. Sakura giggled at the 2 boys' display as it reignited her confidence, and signed her own forms as the trio made their way over to the tent. They reemerged, their heaven scroll hidden in Sasuke's pack, walking to entrance 12 that lead into the forest. Scattered thoughts ran through everyone's heads in the excitement, the calm before the storm. Enko's booming voice then came over a PA system around the edge of the forest, breaking said silence. The second test of the Chunin exams begins now. The gates sprung open as the teams sprinted into the forest to begin planning and battling. Naruto, Sasuke and Sakura took to the tall treetops as fast as they could. There they had a longer range of vision and less likely to be attacked from above. Team 7 traveled in triangle formation. Naruto at the front and Sasuke and Sakura at the rear, left and right respectively. Naruto, what's our plan? Sakura asked after a good 20 minutes of travel. This stunned both Naruto and Sasuke. Sakura was asking for orders from the dead last. Naruto landed on a branch and turned back to Sakura, who landed next to him with Sasuke on the other side. Why are you asking the Dobe for plans? He couldn't plan how to catch that noble's cat, let alone enemy ninja. Sasuke brooded, crossing his arms and turning his back. Well, actually I kinda have a plan, Naruto admitted. Sakura wore a determined look while Sasuke's was one of surprise. Go on, Naruto, Sakura said. Well, to my knowledge of our abilities, Naruto began as his ears pricked up. Sasuke heard it too as he swept Sakura off her feet, while he and Naruto jumped away as a hail of Saban hit the branch they were on. Ooh, so close. An eerie voice called out from the leaves when Team 7 landed on the ground. Sasuke released Sakura as Naruto drew his sword and Sakura, her kunai. My. They sure look scrappy. A different male voice called out, "Yes, but they look weak." "Just as well, they probably are," came a third voice, female this time. "Who's there?" Sasuke shouted to the forest, only getting chuckles in return. "Isn't he a little eager to die?" The female voice called out again. Leaves shifted as 3 rain ninjas stood in front of them. The 2 males had matching gray gas masks and had covered their hair with their headbands, similar to Sakura with their black hair poking through. They looked like twins. The female of the group stood in the center, with long flowing dark green hair matched her dark eyes. The group wore matching, dark brown uniforms, with the girls being more revealing than her teammates. They looked around to be in their mid-teens. Naruto guessed. "Hand over the scroll and we might not kill you." She smirked, holding out her hand. Sasuke scoffed, his Sharingan blazing. "Like we'd do that." He shouted back, "Last chance, kid? If not, I'll have to set these 2 on you." The girl gestured to her 2 partners, each readied a weapon, a blue bastard sword for the left and a whip for the right. Naruto put his hands together. "Shadow Clone Jutsu." He yelled out as 100 clones block him and his team from view. The girl just laughed. "Take them." She smirked evilly as the twins set to work, destroying clone by clone as the Naruto clones blocked with their swords as often as they could. Every Naruto clone was turned to smoke, revealing Sasuke standing in front of Sakura, flashing through hand signs. "Fire style, Phoenix Flower Jutsu," he yelled, shooting several small but powerful fireballs from his mouth. They flew wildly at the rain ninja, but all were either blocked or dodged by them. Sasuke finished the jutsu and smirked. The girl noticed before a shadow loomed over her. She wheeled around and blocked Naruto's downward slash with a small dagger taken from her hip. Blocking wasn't good enough as the amount of power behind Naruto's attack pushed her back and off her feet, rolling next to her 2 teammates. The twins quickly helped her up as Naruto and Sasuke both pressed forward on the attack, kunai and short sword raised. The girl quickly flashed through her own hand signs as the twins blocked their attacks. "Acid Rain Jutsu," she called out. Her 2 teammates took the hint and jumped away into the trees as she jumped high into the air, breathing out a torrent of water. Naruto and Sasuke both got caught in the rush as the rain melted their clothes before 2 small puffs of smoke erupted and logs replaced them. The girl landed on a branch before eyeing the pink-haired ninja, staring directly at her. Naruto's sword scratched against a much bigger one as he and one of the twins clashed high in the branches. "Just give it up, kid, you're no match for us." The rain ninja laughed as Naruto's sword began getting colder and freezing at the point of contact between them. "Not a chance," Naruto replied, forming 6 more clones. The rain ninja shot towards them, slashing 2 clean in half as another 2 jumped up, throwing slashes down at him. He raised his sword and blocked them, pushing back and throwing them off the branch below where they disappeared into smoke. Naruto gave his clone a leg up as he threw him high into the air over the ninja as they went for high and low slashes to end the fight. The rain ninja went for the Naruto on the ground, perceiving him to be the real one. "Kill the real, you killed the clone. I got you now!" he shouted, thrusting his sword between Naruto's guard. It pierced Naruto's arm and went straight into his heart as he smirked. A small puff of smoke revealed him to be the clone as Naruto's sword sliced clean through his right forearm. Blood splashed out, covering the branch and both parties' clothes. The rain ninja cried out in pain as he saw his arm fall to the ground below as Naruto kicked his legs out from under him. He fell hard, and due to the weight difference on one side, he fell towards the ground below too. Naruto turned and looked up at the sky through the canopy as he heard a sickening crunch. It was now 3 on 2. Sasuke cried out as the whip latched onto his left arm, sending electricity straight through his body. "Had enough?" The rain ninja laughed maniacally as he increased the flow of electricity. "And never!" Sasuke's confident reply came, as he grabbed and pulled the whip. The rain ninja resisted as the 2 began a tug of war, each trying to outmatch the other in strength. Sasuke suddenly sprinted forward. Taking the enemy by surprise, he smashed his right leg into his chest. The ninja released his grip on the whip, flying backwards and hitting the tree before clutching his torso. "You little shit," he choked out as he tried to regain his breath. Sasuke quickly rid his arm of the whip and dropped it to the ground below. The rain ninja caught his breath and flashed through some hand signs. "Water style, water pulse jutsu," he called out as a huge ball of water burst from his mouth, hitting Sasuke square on. It carried him inside till he hit a tree himself. Gasping for breath, Sasuke recomposed himself, looking around hurriedly for his enemy. His Sharingan finding nothing. Behind you, an eerie voice spoke as Sasuke wheeled around. "Lightning style, 1000-volt fist." Sasuke jumped back to dodge the blow, but the fist repeatedly tried to connect with him. Sasuke backed against a tree as the rain ninja prepared his final blow. "Game over." He smirked and threw his fist forward. Sasuke chuckled as he tilted his head to the left, dodging the blow and releasing a bright light from behind his head. The rain ninja was blinded as he pulled his arms up to block his vision. This was a big mistake. Sasuke delivered a strong uppercut to his opponent, sending him flying back, landing heavily on the ground. The flash tag burned itself out as Sasuke breathed a sigh of relief. "Looks like it's just me and you, girly." The green-haired woman smirked, gazing down at Sakura through the branches. "All the easier for me," Sakura called back, her hands not wavering on her kunai. The green-haired girl jumped down to the ground, flipping her hair back as she landed. "You haven't made a single move since we began. It looks like all you're good at is taking up space." she insulted. Sakura frowned harder at this before throwing her kunai at the woman. She simply sidestepped as it passed her, lodging itself in the tree behind her. You can't even throw a kunai properly. The girl giggled as Sakura looked taken aback. Who said I was aiming for you? She smirked. Reacting without thinking, the girl jumped away as an explosion engulfed the tree, burning it to cinders. Genjustu, she thought, glancing back to Sakura. Sakura, however, was gone, leaving the girl alone in the clearing. Alright, where have you gone, Pinky? She called out, looking around for any trace of her. A rustling of leaves in the bushes left of her told the rain ninja everything. Tightening her grip on the dagger, she jumped straight into the bush, stabbing deep into flesh as blood hit her skin. Haha, thought you could outsmart me? She shouted as she turned the girl over, revealing one of her teammates' faces on Sakura's body before the illusion faded. She'd killed him. Wheeling around, redoubled her efforts, looking for any hint of color or movement. You bitch! I'll kill you! She shouted out as a hand grabbed her ankle. She looked down and saw her dead teammate, back in his uniform, whip wrapped around his throat, grabbing at her ankle with a dead look on his face and skin as pale as the moon. She screamed as she kicked his hands away, backing up until she hit something. Turning around, she saw her other teammate, his own sword through his chest as he grabbed her arms, holding her in place as the other one crawled forward to grab her ankles again. No, no! What are you doing? Let go of me! She screamed, trying to wriggle free any way she could as all three began sinking into the ground, a black vortex swallowing them up. Naruto and Sasuke hurried back to Sakura as fast as they could. They had been divided, but were not conquered. Naruto arrived on the scene to see a Sakura rooting through the pockets of the female ninja. She was out cold. Sakura? You okay? He huffed as he approached his teammate. Yeah, I'm fine, Naruto, nothing I couldn't handle. She smirked as her hand found the thing she was looking for. Aha! She said, pulling her hand free of her opponent's pouch and lifting her prize to the sky to reveal a heaven scroll. The scene was so quiet you could hear a Saban drop. Sakura and Naruto began regain movement as Sakura yelled out, all this for a heaven scroll? Naruto just sweat dropped. If that didn't bring more ninja running, nothing would. Come on, Sakura, just take it and let's go find Sasuke, Naruto quickly said. A flash of blue later and Sasuke stood next to him. No need, dope. He spoke coolly. So we still need an earth scroll, yeah? He asked, knowing the answer. Yeah, we can't stay here though, she'll wake up soon. Sakura shot a look back at the unconscious body of the rain ninja. Mine too, Sasuke said, jabbing his thumb back where he came from. Naruto just stayed quiet before the two looked at him expecting the same response. He decided he may as well just come out with it. Mine won't. Sakura gasped as Sasuke's eyes widened. Naruto, you didn't? Sakura asked shakily. No, Naruto replied after a brief pause. But I didn't stop it either. Sakura looked a little relieved, but still, her teammate had caused the death of another ninja. So what happened? Sasuke asked with a little new respect for Naruto. He lost an arm to my blade and fell, Naruto replied quietly, his arms shaking a little. I had to search him too for the scroll, you know. Sakura embraced Naruto. It's okay, you won, Naruto, at least you're alive. She whispered into his ear. Naruto gave her a half-hearted hug back as he nodded at Sasuke for them to continue. They turned and jumped into the trees. Naruto patted his pouch to make sure his sealing scroll was still there, containing his enemy's blade as a trophy. Time passed slowly in the forest. Minutes seemed to get longer as the day progressed. It was already past noon, yet Team 7 hadn't seen another team since the past incident. Luckily, this gave them time to recover from their last encounter, both physically and mentally. Sakura glanced at Naruto as they traveled, an emotionless expression on his face. Naruto, she thought as she remembered his story. Sasuke led the trio as they arrived at a small stream. The group took a few moments to rest and refresh before they'd set out again. Naruto took off his sandals and dipped his feet into the water as he lay back on a rock. He closed his ears, keeping his ears open just to relax and reflect. If it's any consolation, it was you or him. The QB spoke up, trying to comfort his young container. Naruto, however, remained silent, trying to relax and forget about his first kill. He thought back to when he fought Zabuza and Haku. Haku herself had made her first kill when she took out Gado. She had intended to kill him while Naruto had merely led the ninja to his death. Sasuke was checking over his gear as he kept an eye on Naruto. He made his first kill before him, yet he didn't show any emotion, just like Zabuza. Sakura was taking a drink from her container before refilling it in the stream. She quickly checked over her gear, drawing a kunai and holding it to her face, twisting the blade over, examining its razor edge. Every time I've held one of these, I could have used it to kill someone, she thought as she touched the tip to her finger. A tiny drop of blood hit the metal before she pocketed it again. She looked over at Naruto, whose eyes were still closed, deep in thought. If I take my first life, I need to be as strong as Naruto. Naruto's ears suddenly twitched. Someone was close. Choji had already polished off his water supply a few hours into the exam. Troublesome, Shikamaru muttered as he led his team through the trees, listening for a water source. Shikamaru heard running water to his left as his team adjusted and headed in the direction of the source. A small stream ran through the forest as the group landed. Choji dived headfirst at the edge of the bank, his head submerged while swallowing huge gulps. Choji, show some manners. You are in the presence of a lady you know. Ino piped up as she massaged her feet. Choji couldn't hear, he still hadn't finished his drink. Neither of his teammates worried, he was always like this. Alright Choji, that's enough. Shikamaru said, pulling Choji's scarf back, causing his head to rise from the water. There's plenty left, Shikamaru. What are you worried about? Choji replied, turning around before crossing his legs. I don't want to stay in one place too long. It gives the enemy time to plan as well as set up traps. It's fine, Shikamaru, we'll set off again soon, okay? Ino replied with a smile as she slipped back into her sandals. Shikamaru just patted his back pouch, reassuring himself that both scrolls were in place. Naruto put his sandals back on as Sasuke and Sakura stood waiting for him. He blinked and his eyes became blood red. He quickly looked around, scanning the area around them. He saw nothing. The three ninjas got a running start before they jumped back into the trees. Naruto could feel the chakra signature following them. Whichever way he led his team, the signature would always follow. Deciding enough was enough, Naruto led the signatures to a small clearing, with a few scattered trees for protection. The team stopped in the middle. What's wrong? Sakura asked, confused. Naruto just closed his eyes and opened them, bringing back the fierce red ones he had grown fond of. Someone's following us. He muttered to his team and he strained his eyes, looking and feeling for any hint of the pursuers. As soon as he tried looking and feeling, the signature had vanished. They weren't anywhere. Sakura took immediate action, searching as hard as Naruto. Her ears tuned to pick up any noise. Sasuke reactivated his Sharingan, taking a battle position and drawing a kunai from his pouch. You better be right, Naruto. He muttered back to his comrade. Normally Naruto would have jumped at Sasuke's sign of respect for him, but he had bigger things to worry about. The earth trembled slightly. The trio looked at each other before jumping backwards as a giant snake emerged from the ground, snapping its jaws shut around the earth they were just standing on. Alone, female grass ninja stood on top of the snake with a straw hat over her long black hair and a thick purple rope around her waist. She giggled darkly. Well, looks like I've found my prize. Naruto drew his sword in a reverse grip, preparing his hands for the Shadow Clone's jutsu. Oh no, we can't have you using jutsu, the grass ninja smirked before unleashing a torrent of killer intent at the trio. The three froze in fear. The fox stirred within Naruto, sensing the danger to his vessel. Seeing through Naruto's eyes, he saw just who was causing his warden to lock up. Killer intent radiated out of Naruto, canceling out the grass ninjas while making her quiver a little. Naruto, Sasuke and Sakura gasped heavily as the weight was lifted off them. I owe you one. Naruto thought quickly to thank the Kyuubi. You can repay me by killing him. The fox roared back in response. Him? Naruto replied. So, it seems I have stumbled onto the location of a precious possession of Konoha. The grass ninja sneered, throwing her hat aside to the muddy grass below. Sasuke and Sakura were confused as to what she was referring to, Sasuke thinking it was himself while Sakura had no clue. Sasuke, Sakura, be careful. Naruto warned, tightening his grip on his blade. I don't have the time for your childish games, the grass ninja smiled. I'll just take what I want and be on my way. Sasuke tapped his pouch, making sure his heaven scroll was still in place while Naruto could feel his in his kunai pouch. The grass ninja flicked her hand as the snake she was on reared up, opening its mouth. Naruto felt a tug at the back of his neck as his feet left the ground. Sasuke was sprinting as fast as he could up the nearest tree, clutching Naruto's collar. Sakura was ahead of the duo as the snake stuck, clamping its jaw around Naruto and Sasuke's position on the tree. Sakura heard the violent, crunching noise and glanced back, seeing the snake's jaw lodged into the trunk. A sword poked through the side of the snake's mouth as Naruto cut his way through with Sasuke behind him. The snake was still firmly stuck in the tree, its fangs planted deep into the bark. Sakura breathed a small sigh of relief as Naruto and Sasuke caught up, running to the top branches. The grass ninja looked at the trapped snake before shaking her head in disapproval. Naruto peered over the edge of the branch they were on and saw the ninja below transform her lower half, similar to a snake's body, and wound her way up the tree. Get back! Naruto called to his teammates as they hopped to the other end of the branch as the grass ninja reached their position, her long, slimy tongue hanging out. The snake parallels were getting ridiculous. Sasuke flew through his hand signs, fire style, fireball jutsu. He called out, a large ball of fire engulfing the grass ninja. Naruto charged at the flame, thrusting his sword directly in the center where the grass ninja was last and felt a slight resistance. Sasuke ended the jutsu as soon as Naruto thrust his sword, revealing the girl, impaled on Naruto's blade through her stomach. She began to cry brown tears before the whole body morphed into a muddy brown color. Earth clone. Naruto thought quickly. The snake below was swinging its tail against the tree, trying to pry itself off the bark or take down the tree trying. The branch shook a little every time the snake hit it. A scream cried out behind Sasuke as he and Naruto turned to see the grass ninja holding a hand over Sakura's mouth and a kunai to her neck. One more move from you and you'll be losing a teammate. She giggled darkly. Sasuke glared at the grass girl, never taking his eyes off her while Naruto redoubled the grip on his blade. Sakura was almost in tears. She had a kunai to her neck and her life could be extinguished at any moment, and began to wonder just what she achieved in her short years. Now, if you'll kindly step forward and give me your scroll, we can end this right now. The girl said. Let's just do what she says. Naruto said to Sasuke, hesitating to make any moves. Sasuke wrestled with himself inside but slowly removed the scroll from his pouch and, one step at a time, made his way over to the grass ninja before setting it a few feet from her and Sakura. Damn it! Think of something. If I can do something, I have to do it now, he thought in a panic as he stood upright. The grass ninja smiled, baring her fangs. Now for my PRI, she began. Shadow possession jutsu success. A voice called from nearby. Naruto whirled around looking for the owner. Team 10 stood on a branch close to his tree, Shikamaru exerting himself through his jutsu with Choji and Ino looking on. Shikamaru carefully manipulated the grass ninja movements, slowly removing her hand from Sakura's mouth and the kunai from her neck. As soon as she was free, Sakura jumped behind her teammates, shaking from fear. Choji! Shikamaru called as Choji quickly jumped onto the branch. Team 7 was one. Expansion jutsu. He shouted as his right arm and hand grew to giant proportions. What trickery is this? The grass ninja started before Choji's hand grabbed her, squeezing her tight and hurling her below, hitting the snake in the head on the way down and creating a cloud of dust as they hit the floor. The snake, now dislodged from the tree, was missing 3 of its 4 fangs with only the top left remaining. Ino jumped over and put her arm round Sakura, who was still shivering. Shikamaru joined the group after releasing his jutsu as the enemy fell. Seems you guys just can't stay out of trouble, can you? He muttered, walking over and picking up the heaven scroll that had gotten stuck between a fork and the branch. It wasn't our fault, she found us, Sasuke retorted. If it wasn't for Naruto, we would have been swallowed straight from the start. Sakura spoke up. Ino hugged her a little tighter and glanced up to really admire Naruto. He looked hot holding that sword with his angry, smoldering look. Shikamaru handed the scroll back to Sasuke. Naruto? Really? He questioned. Does it matter? We have to leave, now, Naruto said, his tone more serious than Shikamaru had ever heard him. Relax, Naruto, Ino spoke up. Choji took care of that bitch. She should be out cold for. He won't be. Naruto cut in. He? Sasuke asked, glancing down at the dust cloud. Yeah, it's not a grass ninja, it's Naruto began explaining. A shadow cast over the group. A slimy, red thing traveled either side of the branch, a single fang passing them by. Shit! Naruto thought as the jaws of the snake snapped shut, swallowing the 6 genin and the branch whole. It was sticky, wet, and it hurt like hell. Team 7 and Team 10 were inside the belly of a giant snake. There was barely enough room to breathe, let alone move around. The snake's digestive juices had already enveloped the genin and stung their skin. Naruto could hear Ino screaming, probably due to the pain and sheer grossness of the experience. A foot hit Naruto's own. He turned his head, straining against the small amount of space he had to see Shikamaru's own with a hard look. Still got your sword? He huffed, trying to keep as much air in as possible. Everyone felt the snake slither over a high log as Naruto slipped lower in its stomach. His sword was long gone. He dropped it the moment the snake ate him due to the pressure, and it was most likely further down in its belly. I got something better than that though, he thought. The grass genin stood proudly on top of the snake, having captured an Uchiha and 5 other test subjects, 3 being clan members. He chuckled. Tomorrow's going to be fun, he thought. The snake slid over the small stream before hissing in pain, its lower back scrunching up to try and ease it. What's going on? The grass ninja hissed before the snake felt another pang of pain, thrashing around wildly. The grass ninja jumped free and landed on the water as the snake curled itself round several trees, hissing louder. Stupid serpent, he began before a small part of the underbelly was sliced through with 4 menacing red claws. A bloody Naruto emerged, breathing fresh air like it would run out before he performed the shadow clone jutsu, his clones forming a chain before diving back into the snake for his friends. The grass ninja watched in bewilderment as Naruto brought his friends out of one of his strongest snake's stomach alive. Ino emerged last, gasping for air and clutching onto Naruto for dear life. The genin quickly tried to brush as much of the slime off as they could. Ugh, now that was an experience, Shikamaru complained. Naruto dispelled his clones as they turned their attention back to the threat at hand. Guys, we can't win this battle, Naruto whispered to his friends as some of them looked a little unnerved. What? Why not? Sasuke questioned, annoyed at admitting defeat to a single grass ninja. That's Orochimaru's new apprentice, Shikamaru stated coolly. Ino, Sakura and Choji flinched. They'd heard tales about the Sannin but had never seen one, yet an apprentice of the one who defected from the village was standing in front of them. Closed Shikamaru. Naruto swallowed. It's Orochimaru himself. Everyone flinched as Orochimaru allowed the conversation to continue, wondering himself how the demon fox's jailer had figured it out. There's no way we can fight a Sannin and win, Naruto admitted. Even with the fox's help, he probably couldn't kill him. SSSS smart decision, Orochimaru called out, his eyes now focused on Naruto's own. What are you thinking, brat? The fox roared, enraged by his vessel's refusal to kill one he hated so much. Even with all of us, we won't be able to match up to him. He has years of knowledge in jutsu, you told me, so how could we? Naruto trailed off inside his head before a yell came from the real world. Team 10. Formation 4. Shikamaru called out as he flashed through hand signs. Choji reacted immediately, running to the left and jumping over the stream. Naruto! Sasuke! Distraction! Shikamaru called out, completing his hand signs. The two reacted immediately. Naruto focused his chakra and summoned 500 clones along their side of the bank, while Sasuke flashed through hand signs. Orochimaru smirked, his face still that of the female grass ninjas he'd stolen between exams, keeping an eye on as much of the action as he could. The Naruto clones paired up and threw each other at the snake Sannin. Sasuke jumped high into the air, spouting off several balls of fire, crying out, "Fire style! Phoenix Flower Jutsu!" Several of the fireballs collided with the Naruto clones mid-flight, creating a small, but effective smoke screen as the orange and black clones that the jutsu misdied into the smoke. Many flew through the smoke, but as it cleared it revealed Orochimaru held in place by 15 Naruto clones and Shikamaru's shadow, dragging him into the water. "Shadow possession success," he called out. "Now Choji, expansion jutsu." Choji called out as he leapt back over the river, behind Orochimaru, his hands growing to epic proportions. The Sannin looked shocked as he struggled to free himself. Choji put his hands together in a huge fist before slamming them down on Orochimaru's head, dispelling the Naruto clones and forcing the Sannin's head to crack against the rocks beneath the shallow stream. Choji landed next to Shikamaru as his shadow returned to him. "Naruto, Sasuke, quickly!" Shikamaru beckoned as the six jumped away into the trees. Behind them Orochimaru's corpse rose to the top of the water, his clothes and skin melting before turning the water a deep brown shade. The two genin teams jumped as far and fast as they could through the trees, looking for the tower to report their skirmish to the more advanced ninja. A soft hissing sent chills down their collective spines. A hand flew out from a trunk on a tree as Ino landed, grabbing her wrist and locking it behind her back. "Ino!" Choji called out before another pair of hands restrained him. Pushing his face into the branch, holding his hands behind his back, more hands appeared as the remaining genin avoided them, slashing at them with kunai and landing on a safe branch. The hands became arms and arms became shoulders as several brown Orochimaru clones stepped out of the genjutsu they were hidden under, regaining their color as they did. "It seems you are out of ideas." The same voice they now feared to hear spoke up. Orochimaru stood behind them, sandwiching their branch between his and his clones. "Only four left. Now how to dispose of you?" he giggled, his girlish face still in place. Sakura hid behind Naruto. "What do you want?" Shikamaru shouted. In all their years of near friendship, Naruto had never seen the boy look this desperate. The Orochimaru girl giggled again. "Just something I've had my eyes on for a long time," she replied calmly. The air shimmered and wavered, like on a hot day as the four remaining genin disappeared. "What?" Orochimaru stood shocked. The two clones of himself as well as their captives disappeared too. He then felt pain in his stomach as a kunai lodged itself in it. He looked down and saw a smirking Sasuke try to plant another in his heart with his other hand. The snake Sannin used his strength to block the blow, but Sasuke's momentum brought his left foot into his gut, knocking him off balance. "Now I've got you." Orochimaru laughed as his free hand grabbed Sasuke's shirt and pulled him down with him as the two tumbled off the branch. "Sasuke!" Sakura called out as she released her hidden in plain sight genjutsu. Shikamaru and Naruto were too busy finishing off the earth clones of Orochimaru as the pair tumbled below through the canopy of smaller trees. Naruto slashed and dug a kunai into his Orochimaru clone's brain before it returned to its earthly state. Ino was gasped in shock as Naruto jumped past her, into the canopy after his teammate, holding a sealing scroll in his hand.